pulled from his time as an NFL quarterback with the Philadelphia Eagles, all the way down to spending time in high school coaching football. So he's got a wide array of things that he'll utilize to put pressure on this defense, and we're going to see him early on right now.
All right, here we go. We're ready for football. 15 minutes on the clock. Grimm is deep along with LMA June. And that's going to go into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. So it'll be our first look at Jorge Reyna, one of the captains. He's a senior from Downey, California.
You're talking to Jorge or talking to his coaching staff about Jorge. He does a great job scrambling around, making plays. He has a real knack for just being a gamer and finding a way to move the football down the field. But Jeff would like to see him take strides as a pocket passer, really see the concepts down the field, make some throws. He's clearly capable of doing it.
So the Sac State defense has been outstanding against the run so far this year.
Already moving.
They haven't given up over 91 yards on the ground to any of their 3 previous opponents. Reyna wants to throw on first down. He's going for the big hitter down the field. And they were tangled up pretty good.
No, you got a flag now.
And a late flag comes in as Cam Sutton was the target. He's a big target at 6'6", 226 pounds.
You know, talking to that coaching staff, they really felt like they had, an advantage on the perimeter, and they don't take long to take a shot.
Pass interference, number 8, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
It goes against Kalen Barnes. He's one of the guys they really rely on at safety. What do you think?
It's a tough call. They're hand fighting. Both of them were kind of challenging. You want to just let them play that out, but we'll take it. If you're Fresno State fans, got to be happy about that. But I just like the aggressiveness, taking a shot with your matchup that you felt you had going into the game.
Play action. Reyna with time is going to check it down. Getting close to the first down is Jalen Cropper. And they like Cropper a lot, a true freshman.
That was a good job by Reyna. He had verticals up the field. 3 guys really testing this secondary and found his check down to fourth option, and then picks up a first down. It's a good job.
Get it out on the perimeter, and that's well defended by Sac State. There's no place to go. It was a really heady play in the secondary as they were able to bring him down.
Just the aggressiveness you've seen so far out of Sac State. They like to challenge offenses. Talking to their staff, it's fun to kind of sit back and let these offenses go up down the field in college football, but they like to attack the offensive side, and you can see that right away with a great play on the perimeter.
Aaron Bland came up there, junior from Modesto, California. We talk about this guy's got a really high ceiling. Well, he showed it there as he sniffed that out. 2nd and 13. Reyna completes it. Could be short of the sticks by a couple of yards. Zane Pope with the catch.
Good job. He had off coverage there. Reyna did a good job. Had a couple options, but ended up settling on the easy throw right in front of him. Good hookup in the zone and a nice play. Sets up a 3rd and short. They've been down behind the down and distance the first couple games. It's been bad for them. They've been 3rd and long. This is a nice matchup for them. That's where they want to be.
5 wide receiver set. Reyna the quick hitter, and they complete it for the first down. And again, it's Zane Pope.
Got whacked too. Did a nice job, some spacing concepts to the front side. A lot of options, but Reyna again holds the linebacker in the middle just enough to get that throw in there. He's done a good job so far getting through his progression. He's got to be happy for Jeff.
So far, Reyna hasn't missed yet, 4 for 4. They tried to get it out on the perimeter, can't do it. Throw was just a little bit too far out in front.
A little bit off, and you want to be accurate on those bubbles. That's the key to him. Hit him in stride. It's like an extension of the run game, but Sac State's played those pretty aggressively so far. I mean, that was a nice play again by the nickel, and if they can continue that, it kind of eliminates that extended handoff. So that's a good play by Sac State hanging in there.
And we're looking for Chris Coleman. The 2nd and 10. Empty backfield.
Oh, Double pass.
Double pass down the field. He's open, but they can't get it to him. Love the concept, but they're not able to convert it. Josh Hokett, number 9, was the guy throwing the football there, looking for Jared Rice, the outstanding tight end.
I like that. Little trickeration, try and catch him off guard. Excite this crowd a little bit, just missed him. He's not a quarterback, obviously. That's what happens, Ari. Sometimes you miss those.
You don't miss those.
The running backs do.
Yes.
Unless you're LT. LaDainian Townsend tends to hit those.
3rd and long. Reyna. Hokett's got it. And Hokett gets hit. He's a little shy. What do you think? They're about the 32-yard line. Do you go for it here on 4th, or you get the quick 3?
You'd be pressured too, but get the quick 3. It was a good drive. They had good coverage down the field. A lot of times, they've made him check it down a few times early, so you don't feel as good about some of the concepts. But Jorge did a good job finding his back and getting a positive gain to give him a realistic chance at the field goal.
Cesar Silva on for the field goal attempt. He has a long of 48 on the season. This will be a 49-yarder. His only miss is from 50. Good snap, good hold. Kick is on the way. And just misses to the right. So good-looking drive. They come up empty.
Yeah, still productive. I thought Jorge did a good job getting through his progressions. That's the one thing that I would take away from that drive with some pretty positive feelings, is just the chance to get through some progressions and look like you're developing as a pocket passer, because we know he can run with the football.
Coach Tedford's had so much success, and 3 years I've had a chance to get to know him. I'm just so impressed by how just level-headed he is 24 hours a day. Doesn't get up too damn well. He knows his defense is going to have to keep track of Kevin Thompson, who's putting up just great numbers. Total of 10 touchdown passes and just 2 interceptions. Thompson with time and runs out of it. He's sacked, and a late flag comes in the area of offensive holding.
It's good coverage down the field also. You hear the term coverage sack all the time, and that was the epitome of it. Didn't really have anywhere to throw the football. Had to get to his 4th read and ran out of time. Speaking of Jeff, though, all right, if we're gonna speak honestly, he's a
personal foul. Hands to the face. Number 51. Defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
He went from the glory of the sack to the penalty for Alex Cruz.
Well, it's not a good one, but Jeff, he is level-headed, but on the field he's insane. He's a crazy man.
He looks like he's calm.
Well, that's what was so it fools you a little bit, because off the field he's fantastic. He's great, but then he's a hard-working. He demands a lot out of his team.
Now Thompson keeps it there, and he gets it right to midfield. So the numbers on Thompson running the football really impressive. He's averaging 7.4 yards per carry. Second leading rusher on the team.
When you watch him play, that was one of the things that stands out first. Is like his athletic ability is dynamic, and he's able to move. But then you see some throws that he makes down the field, and you're like, well, this guy's got the complete package.
Thompson on the rollout to his left, all kinds of time. Now he's just going to tuck it, pick up a few yards, and get out of bounds. Back to the line of scrimmage.
Great job by Fresno State. Play action there, a heavy run set, and they didn't bite. They were on it. They were on the deep corner. They were on the crossing route. Really no place for Kevin to go. He just used his legs and tries to pick up a couple yards, at least in a third, at least manageable here.
Third and 7. High snap, Thompson collects. Delivers, and it's incomplete.
Slipped a little at the top of his route, but I think they had what they wanted. They tried to clear out on the outside and then run the curl route to the sticks, and he just slipped a little bit out of his break. And then the throw was a little bit off, but I think it was a little bit because he slipped coming out of his break. That's good coverage. I mean, that was really the only place he had to go with the football. So good job on the defensive side, covering down on that play action, and then on third down, getting off the field.
The Hornets will be forced to punt. Ronnie Rivers is deep for the Bulldogs. Sam Clark, the Australian, is in to punt. He played semi-professional Aussie rules football. You ever seen Aussie rules football?
I have. That's fantastic. I love it when they come over and play some real football. No one hate me for that. For in Australia.
I don't know how many people are watching, but his family might be, and they could be, maybe a hair disappointed.
Yeah,
they'll get over it.
Well, that was a great kick.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Really good kick.
Good job.
All right, well, we've been talking Jeff Tedford, and for more on that, let's go to Danny.
Well, Coach Tedford has done a remarkable job. He inherited a 1-11 football program, and since then he's led them to a 22-6 record, a 2018 Mountain West Championship, 2 division titles, 2 bowl wins. Guys, he's just comfortable. This is his alma mater. He played quarterback here in 1981 and 1982 under Jim Sweeney. He coached here previously, just not as the head coach. He coached remarkable quarterbacks, including the guy up there in the booth in David Carr, and a guy maybe you guys have heard of in Aaron Rodgers. Yep, he found him at a community college, almost made a Rose Bowl with him. He's coached Joey Harrington. He even actually is the person that kick-started Lane Kiffin's career, which is actually very interesting. When Lane Kiffin was a quarterback here at Fresno State, it was obvious he wouldn't get playing time. So Tedford, the offensive coordinator, talked him in to coaching and starting his graduate assistant job, and then you saw how well Kiffin has gone from there as well. He left Cal as the school's all-time winningest coach when he coached there. He's just a winner, guys, and bigger schools obviously trying to lure him away, but he's faithful to Fresno State. He says he loves the support here, and he looks for blue-collar players because the people in Fresno are so hardworking and have such a passion for the Valley. He wants his team to emulate this community, but it's got to be nice for Fresno State, Ari and David, just to have a guy that is so loyal to the program.
And the best part, he says this is it. He plans to coach here for the rest of his career. Whenever his time here is done, he's done with coaching. So if you're a Fresno State fan, you hope he sticks around for a long, long time.
Well, just when I had a chance to talk to Jeff when he was thinking about coming back, obviously with the list of quarterbacks, it was fun. I mean, it's great playing for Jeff. He's a fantastic coach, like we talked about, Ari. He's very level-headed off the field. When we're in between the lines, he goes at it, and that's the reason we were able to have the success that we had. But, you know, the great thing about him is he recruits the Valley. He wants to bring the local kids in, wants to keep them here. He's a great coach. He's a fantastic football coach. He has a great staff. He has done a really good job of bringing in a great staff of guys that can really coach ball. And it's just great to have that guy be here local, and he wants to stay. He doesn't want to go anywhere. I talked to him when he first took the job. He's like, Dave, I'm not going anywhere else. So please try to pass that message along. And yes. I've tried to tell people the last couple of years, but I don't think they believe me. But Jeff's going to be here for the long haul. He's excited about this team.
Well, every time I've had one of his games, I always bring that up because I think that's an amazing thing if you're a fan or you're a potential recruit to know he's not going anywhere.
That's right.
1st and 10. They keep it on the ground.
There's that Sac State run
Rivers,
D.
yeah, that run D has been really good so far this season.
You know, the key, as we watch this thing unfold, they move a lot up front. And if you're not on it, if you're not on rails as far as those zone runs go, you're gonna have some issues in the backfield. So you're gonna have some negative yardage plays. So you just got to try and get on the right guys, get moving, and try to handle those movements, the stunts that they do, and then try and find a crease.
This is something that all the Hornets opponents have had to deal with, is 2nd and long and 3rd and longs, because no one's been able to run the football against them.
Yeah, and it's been an issue for Fresno State. Long down and distance has been an issue early on.
Reyna avoids the pressure, steps up. Wide open down the field. It's Zane Pope, and Zane Pope into Hornet territory. What a job there by Reyna with pressure in his face.
That was a great job because they had the concept worked out beautifully, and then he was about to throw it, pressure, still keeps his eyes down the field and finds the open receiver on the perimeter. They actually blew the coverage. They had it covered up, and then they both ran with the deeper route, but a great job by Jorge finding him.
36 yards on the play. And Rivers trying to run between the tackles, picks up a yard.
You know, when we talked to the coaching staff the other day about running the football, you know, they'd been struggling a little bit, and Sac State's been good, but they didn't want to give up on it. So that's the one thing that you're going to see. They're going to continue to try and make it happen.
All right, we got our first poll question tonight. Who wins tonight? I see some stats down there.
Can I vote, Ari?
You certainly can vote.
Okay, I'm going to vote.
I got a feeling I know where you're going to vote. I think I got the team. 2nd and 9. Get it out into some space. It's Rivers. And Rivers bounces off the tackle and brought down at the 42 to bring up a very manageable 3rd and short.
Good play design, and we talked about it in the opening, trying to get him on the perimeter. And if you can find ways to get Ronnie the ball and not handing it to him up the gut because they're strong up there, then let's go ahead and do that. And they did a good job getting him on the perimeter. It's been better than their bubble screen to the receivers so far, so they might come back to it.
Well, really, and that play effectively is a running play.
It is, yep.
Our mutual friend Trent Green would say that's as good as a handoff.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yep, except our completion percentage goes up.
Yeah.
So does our quarterback rate.
You like that.
I always like that.
3rd and short, Reyna with time. Thinking about running for it. Cuts it back, and he has enough for a Bulldog first down.
Really good job down the field by Sac State. Good coverage. Jorge bought time. The O-line gave him enough time to move, but he was unable to find anyone scrambling. And he got the first down, which is a good job, but great coverage down the field by Sac State. They're hanging in there pretty good. Good tackle, too.
Just about halfway through this opening quarter. And the good news for Bulldog fans, they have been able to move the ball effectively on both drives. The last drive weren't able to convert the field goal. And Reyna is going to slide and not take the hit after a gain of a couple.
Good play design. We asked the coaching staff if they're going to utilize more of Jorge in the run game, and they said no. But they're lying to us, of course, because it's a strength of his. So why would you not use it? And so you put the wide receiver on a Bulldog sweep, which they like to call it here. And he then plays wide, and Jorge keeps it. So you pick up positive yardage, and you can move on and put some more pressure on the defense.
Wheatfall is at the bottom of your screen. He's a guy they'd like to get some touches. Carrick Wheatfall. This guy can fly. He got hurt on a kick return against USC, but they're going to keep it on the ground here. And Rivers inside the 20 and finally brought down at the 17-yard line. Great vision there from Ronnie Rivers.
Great vision, great play design. You know, if you're having problems with the inside run, we've seen now them throw the ball on the perimeter. Now we've seen them hand it on the perimeter, fake the handoff to the wide receiver on the perimeter. So they're gonna start to stretch the field a little bit for Sac State and try and create some more gaps in the run game.
Those are his stats coming into tonight. Add another 20 yards following that carry. So 1st and 10 at the 17. Reyna on target. And there is a flag on the far side of the field at the 19-yard line. That was Wheatfall making the catch. You can see he's a physical specimen.
Illegal formation. 5 players lined up in the backfield. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
They do a lot of formations. College kids, sometimes they mess them up. You got 5 guys in the backfield. Can't have that.
See, do you see how calm he looked there, even following
He's
that
not
penalty?
calm to watch. Just wait till they get to the sideline. Find the culprit. Or at least maybe in the locker room. Maybe he'll hide it. Maybe he'll mask it.
You're spoiling my perfect image of him.
Jeff's great. He's great. You got to have both, though. You got to be able to talk to the guys off the field. Tell them you like them. Sometimes when coaches scream the whole time, you never know.
They run the option. It's Rivers. Breaks the tackle. That was a real nice tackle there. That could have been potentially a touchdown. Alan Perryman came up from a safety spot to make that solid tackle after a gain of 7.
Yeah, you just continue to see them on the perimeter, which is smart, and put guys in situations where they got to make a choice. Jorge can run the football, so can Ronnie. Option off the defensive end, nice design.
Rodriguez in motion, one of the backup tight ends. Reyna is in some trouble. He's going to scramble and go down. Picks up a yard on the play, avoids the sack. And he does have a nice little burst. When he feels that pressure, he gets out of there in a hurry.
Yeah, I mean, you saw it against USC, first game he started, and he was able to step up there and had some big runs. And so this is a strength of his, and I'm glad that he utilizes it. You don't want to overcoach him to where he stops doing that. And I like what they've done so far. They're letting him be himself, but he's made a couple nice reads as well.
Bulldogs 2 for 3 on 3rd down so far. Good protection. The throw is there. Hogan bounces off the tackler. Takes it for 6. Touchdown Bulldogs.
So nice to have a guy like that out of the backfield, can spell Ronnie Rivers, give him a break, but come in and just be tough. Get the tough yards. Great catch, great play design. Little angle route, bounces off 2 defenders and finishes. This fantastic football player. They love this kid.
Well, Ryan Grubb, the offensive coordinator, told us he thinks he can be an NFL fullback, and based on that play alone, that's
it
what
looks
you're
like
looking
an NFL
for, right?
fullback.
Right?
Bounce off bodies and score touchdowns. That's what NFL fullbacks do.
Extra point is up, and it is good. A 10-play, 93-yard drive that takes almost 6 minutes off the clock. Outstanding for the Bulldogs. Hogan gets the opening touchdown of the night.
That's a good drive. They've had a couple good drives. Last one, obviously, missed field goal, but here they finished with a touchdown. Just great effort. Great effort, which the Bulldogs have always been about. Toughness, great effort, and that guy epitomizes it right there.
Well, I was on the home radio pregame show, and they asked me, they said, when you bounce around the country, what are some of the things you look for? And I said, I look for football culture. And I said, when you come to the Valley, there is a real culture. It really matters to people here. It's not just like something cool to do on Saturdays. They're talking about football all year round.
Yeah, it really is, and it's a mindset, and this is one of the best places I've been, and I've been around the country playing games, and when this thing's rocking, Fresno State is a fantastic, because it's community.
Yep.
It's a small town, but they get fired up for their Bulldogs. This place can pack out and rock, and they're just waiting for something to explode on. I mean, they're just excited for Jeff, excited for him to be here. Hopefully we can get this thing going.
Oh, yeah. Future is bright. All right, let's check it with Danny.
Well, just to echo what you guys have been saying in the booth, I even saw the ROTC guys doing push-ups for every point being scored. So hopefully for them, their arms are sore by the end of the day. But I do want to check in with our social media aspect here. I know you guys have been sending in some comments. There's even been some pictures being posted as well. You use that hashtag SACST versus FS. Elizabeth Hang is grilling up in tailgaters. I don't know where my food went. I'm still looking for it. Starving down here. And then Ari took a picture and posted it using that hashtag, and this is a group of us. And then we've got a really special visitor today, Ari's daughter Layla, with her. She's got, the microphone on her. You got her already up there.
Look, I'm looking for a replacement. My days are numbered in the booth. I think she could be a rising star.
She's
you know what? And she's got a good left-handed grip. I'm seeing a future athlete.
Let's hope so. She can make up for her dad.
Absolutely. Okay, well, guys, if you want to see your face on this broadcast, once again, all you got to do, post a photo to Instagram and use that hashtag. I'm going to spell it out for you one more time because it is a lot of letters. SACST versus FS. You know what? Post your photo. We want to see what you're wearing, where you're watching this game from, and we want to interact with you. So post those photos.
Thank you, Danny. Just about set to kick off here following the touchdown. Marquis Johnson will be back there along with B.J. Perkinson.
If you're Sac State, you got to find a way to answer. On the road, make some plays. Return would be nice.
I still have to get used to the fair catch on the kickoffs. It's just every time I see it, I'm like, I know that's the way we're doing things, but it just doesn't look right.
You're like, wait, you can't do that. Someone throw a flag.
The first time it happened to me, the guy literally waved his hand and he was at the 1, and I just thought he didn't realize where he was. I was like, oh no!
Got it. Yeah, exactly.
I learned the hard way.
Yep. Fair catch.
I realize player safety is key, but it does just look awkward on that.
Yeah, it definitely does.
All right,
you don't have to get used to it, Ari. You don't have to.
Okay, I can be old school.
That's fine.
Well, I want to talk on this drive about how old school your head coach here was, Pat Hill, he was my partner for my first ever game up here at Bulldog Stadium.
He's a loose cannon. Glad you got through that.
I survived a couple of games with him. Thompson down the field, open receiver. Good looking throw. Pierre Williams with the catch.
Good play design right there. Very, very good play design. Good action to draw eyes. We talked about with Watts, the defense coordinator for Fresno State, eye discipline, and they got you going a couple different ways. Nice play down the field.
Thompson's going to run it. He'll pick up a few. I could sense there was a little groan because you knew if it was a better throw, and that comes only from a quarterback. The rest of us, I thought it was a good throw.
Well,
and you thought if it's in front of him, he's still running, right?
I didn't want to say it. Kevin, it's a good throw, man. But yeah, you see, I saw green grass. Green turf, but I saw green grass ahead. That could have been 6. Come back to it later.
Thompson. And he'll check it down, and it's incomplete.
Just nowhere
big
to throw.
hit there.
Yeah, nowhere to throw again. They have good play design. He has time in the pocket, but good coverage down the field by Fresno State. Just nowhere to throw the football.
You talk about what a maniac Pat Hill was. I mean, when this place was rocking, that guy has a level of intensity. He even had it up here in the booth. I was ready to play when he was done with me.
Oh, he's fantastic.
He's overdoing the color on the Fresno State radio broadcast. 3rd down. Thompson, and it's
great
Martin, the tight
timing.
end, and he'll take it for the touchdown. Hornets are on the board.
That's what you need, Kevin Thompson. Anticipation, great throw. Safeties split like the Red Sea. Good action. Linebacker's eyes in the backfield and hits him in stride. That's a fantastic play. Good throw by him. Good play design. Really like that.
And here's something that's a wrinkle that people don't think about. At FCS, I mean, that guy looks more like a receiver than a tight end. But
Yeah,
Martin
I mean,
listed a tight end 6'2", 210, and he
Exactly.
ran that like a receiver.
He really looked good coming down the middle there. A lot of options right now. I'm not sure what they're going to do.
I'm pretty confused at what they might do here.
Sac State's
Are they
confused,
going
too.
for two? Or are they kicking an extra
Yeah,
point?
they're not sure yet. They're just going to take some time and think about it.
You don't see a lot of timeouts called in the first quarter or debating whether to
On
do
the
an
extra
extra point
point.
or the 2-point conversion.
It's
And
okay.
Troy Taylor is a brilliant offensive mind. Maybe he's got something he's got cooked up here.
Just look at a little play action. That's all it takes. Get the linebacker's eyes in the backfield. Split safety. I mean, he looks like an NFL wide receiver.
Yeah,
I'll say NFL wide receiver. Good sized tight end for college.
Yeah, but that's where sometimes I think the FCS kind of can fool the other side because you're not expecting a guy
Right.
that size with that speed at tight end.
That's a good point. And you put him on the inside, so okay, it's tight end. Maybe he lumbers down the field. Guys don't maybe study as much. Like, is he a 4-4 guy or is he a 4-8 guy? I mean, that's a big difference.
Yes,
You're trying
it
to run
is.
down the middle. So that was a great play by them.
And they've decided to go for the extra point, which seems like a wise decision.
I like that.
Kyle Stankowski on for the extra point, but maybe not such a good idea as it's blocked.
That's why I liked it.
And the Bulldogs stay in front. The lead is now 7-6.
Well, you know what, Ari? When I was back in the day, we had a good team when I was at Fresno State, but we had an even better special teams. They got after it. And Jeff has definitely wanted to bring that culture back here where they block kicks. We used to block a ton of kicks. And if he can bring some of that, because that just electrifies the stadium and gives life to your team. And they could have tied it up right there, but block kick, now you're still up. So gives you a little juice back on the sideline.
All right, let's hear from Danny. Danny, tell us a little bit more about Kevin Thompson.
Yeah, well, Kevin Thompson, you guys have been talking about it. He's been thriving under first-year coach Troy Taylor. But it's crazy to think that not long ago, he thought his college playing days were over before they even started. He had this non-stop searing pain in his arm from throwing. He was in his redshirt year, his freshman season at UNLV, when he got the diagnosis that he needed to have Tommy John surgery. And Tommy John is generally tied to baseball, not normally associated with the mechanics of throwing a football, but he had surgery on his birthday in 2015. That injury ended his time at UNLV, but he did earn a half scholarship and ultimately a full one to Sac State under the old coaching staff. And he really seized his opportunity. When he played in 2017, he hadn't had game action since high school in 2013. And then when he met Coach Taylor for the first time, he found out that he was granted an extra year of eligibility through the 2020 season. So that meant he's going to have 2 years with Coach Taylor. And so far, under Taylor's guidance, you know, he's been doing great. Prior to this game, 927 yards, 10 touchdowns, 11, you count the one now right there on the field. Off the field, he's already graduated. He's got a degree in communications. He's in a master's program to hopefully one day be a high school or college administrator. His parents come to every game, and his parents deserve a shout out, Connie and Jim Thompson, because they are the ones that encouraged him to follow his football dreams, even when he thought his arm was going to fall off.
Wow.
It's a really cool story, and you don't really hear about Tommy John and football players and throwers. And I know when I played baseball and football, when I played baseball, my arm hurt. When I threw a football, it didn't. And for whatever reason, the biomechanics, however that works out, doesn't put as much stress on you. But you know, some guys are different, and it did. But to get 2 years now to be able to play with Coach Taylor, I mean, that's going to be fantastic. I like what I've seen so far with his offensive system. Kevin fits in beautifully. They're going to play a lot of good football together, so this will be fun to watch. Good football team.
No chance for a return here after the strong kick. Grim will just take a name. Tape Don't Lie, weekly on Facebook. Go deeper into the biggest college football games each week on Tape Don't Lie. Stadium college football analyst Michael Felder goes into the film room with a rotating cast of football experts to take a deep dive on college football's most important players and teams. New episodes drop each week on Stadium's Facebook page. Stadium, welcome to the game. That's what they're always telling you. Tape never lies.
That's right. Eye in the sky. Ari, eye in the sky never lies. You tell your coach one thing, but when they go in the film room, they're going to see what
the
really
truth.
happened. Exactly.
Third drive for the Bulldogs. Reina completes it underneath.
Good move.
Real good move.
That's good.
And that's Chris Coleman making the play.
Good play design again. Reina, good job going through your progressions. Now hits his third option. He's done a really good job of doing that. I mean, this is only his third start. He's really progressive in the pocket, which is a good sign.
That's really something I think we need to keep reminding the viewers, is that even though he's a senior, this is just his third game as a starter.
Yeah, he's a young guy.
And the Bulldog sweep, as I've now correctly been told how to call it.
Thank you, Ari. Perfect. It's going to catch on.
Jalen Cropper, yeah. Everybody's going to be running the Bulldog sweep.
Nationwide, Bulldog sweep.
Gain of 7 on the play.
But they've really found something there with getting the ball on the perimeter. I mean, you can bang your head into a wall, hand the ball inside, but it's been tough sledding so far, so why do it? Get it outside, get it to your players. Some yards.
And no place to go. That one was sniffed out nicely. Davion Ross came up from the secondary to make the play.
Inside the tackle box is going to be difficult. They knew it coming in. But you still got to try. I get it. They'll find a crease at some point. But Sac State is stout inside. Already, they've been in multiple fronts up front. So it's a lot to handle from the center position to communicating all those movements to the fronts that they're in. It's a lot to ask of the center and the offensive line to figure all that out. Another different front here.
3 for 4 on third down thus far. Good pocket, Reina. And the throw was on target, but through the hands of Chris Coleman.
Yeah, good play design, right read. Took a peek down the middle at his seam runner, didn't have it, and then what are you going to do? Hit your man right in the chest, catch the football.
I'm always impressed by the quarterbacks that don't show a look of disgust when that ball is released.
It's hard.
Yes.
It's a very difficult thing to do. It takes time. It takes time to learn that. It's a leadership quality.
Well, one of the first quarterbacks I was around, I started my career doing radio and arena football, and our quarterback was Mike Pulowski, who played quarterback at Cal.
Yeah.
And I'd ask him about that. I'm like, guy drops a wide open ball. He's like, on the field, no reaction. Guarantee he's hearing about it afterwards.
Well, the other thing you don't want to happen, so if you start being demonstrative about the drop, as soon as you miss one, you don't want them to show you up in front of your family and your friends with his hands in the air. So it kind of goes both ways.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a mutual respect there. Like, all right, dude, don't show me up. I won't show you up. We'll talk about it when we get in the locker room. At the end of the day, catch the ball. Come on.
That's right.
Quarterbacks don't miss throws, all right?
Punting an area of strength for the Bulldogs. Blake Cusick, senior. Ray Guy watch list. Averaging almost 46 yards per punt. And where some of the Mountain West schools, you're up at high elevation, he's earning every yard here in the valley.
For sure. We used to never want to see the punter go on the field, but in this case, it's all right. You got a good one. Field position's key, especially in a game like this. 1 point game.
See if we can pin him inside the 10. Big, strong boot.
Good punt.
Fair catch is made at the 7.
Really good job. Very nice.
If the punter's going to come out, at least,
Hey, we could be friends. We can play golf together. All right? You're going to kick
You've
him like
established something.
that? You can hang out.
David Carr has made a new friend. We're only in the first half.
I like him. All right, Troy Taylor, Kevin Thompson. You got a shot now. You stopped him. You got off the field. Make something happen.
And this is an explosive offense. You look at those numbers. They've scored 134 points in 3 games. That's the most in school history. It does help when you score 77 in one of them. They won their opener against Southern Oregon 77-19. But last week against Northern Colorado, they won 50-0.
They got a good design, good offensive scheme.
Keep it on the ground. Elijah Dotson. Good hard run, yeah. Gets up to the
That's what you got to have. You're playing on the road. You're the underdog. Those negative yardage runs got to turn into 4-yard runs. Keep you on schedule as an offense. Makes it easier to play call, easier to play quarterback. Everything's easier when your back runs like that.
And he's a really good back, Dodson. He can do it all. He's doing a great job catching the football for this team as well. As Thompson's going to step up, deliver.
Good movement in the pocket, but coverage was pretty tight. There have been a couple times where he's had to kind of get to his third and fourth guy, and it's been tight windows. So good job covering on the back end.
Well, they would desperately like to pick up at least one first down here. Plenty of time on the play clock as Thompson surveys the defense.
Here come the fans a little bit. Make it tough.
Dumps it down. And Dodson.
That's a good looking
A little
back.
stiff arm. Yeah, he is a real good looking back. And that's his 22nd catch of the year. Leads the team in catches. 9 yards on the play.
The thing that makes this is the accuracy of the throw. Obviously, the back is a talented back. Make a man miss. Nice stiff arm there and good speed. But if that's not out in front of him, then he can't run like that with that football. Throw it short of the sticks. You got to be accurate with the ball so they can pick up first downs. Good job.
Now, both these teams really have a starting tailback that's a triple threat that can do it all. 1st and 10 for the Hornets. They keep it on the ground. I believe that's B.J. Perkinson, the backup running back from Hawthorne, California, down Southern California.
They just put a lot of pressure on you from a defensive standpoint. You have the receiver going in motion, and then you get the zone run, the tight end coming back to the other side. It's a lot to look at, and they're just expecting you to just be off a little bit in your gap fill, and they're gonna crease one here pretty soon.
Pressure's coming, but there's a flag down before the play. I believe we're gonna have a false start.
Five-yard penalty. Still second down.
They haven't brought a lot of pressure, Fresno State, but you can see one of the first times that they do, you tend to get false starts. Those tackles start to see that, backs start sliding a little bit, knowing they got to get there for protection for their quarterback. Get a little 5 yards out of it. Pressure bust pipes.
It certainly does. But the guy might have the answers, though, is Troy Taylor. He's an outstanding offensive coach.
Yep. Done a good job so far here, giving Kevin Thompson some answers.
And another whistle here. Oh, we're at the end of the quarter. All right. That's a pretty good reason to have a whistle.
Man. Good times.
15 minutes complete at Bulldog Stadium. We've got a 1-point game. We'll be back after a message from Stadium. That is super cool. Stadium is your new way to watch national sports, the only 24/7 network available on both television and digital devices without a cable subscription. Live and classic games, daily live studio, and original programming. Check your local listings or go to watchstadium.com. Stadium, a new way to watch sports. Welcome to the game. Danny, what's going on?
I just want to remind you, Ari, and our viewers that they need to post photos and continue to talk to us throughout this game. I know that you guys can check out their comments, but the Instagram is the way to go, because here, check out this. Ryan Obermeyer, he's shown us his tugboat. Is that what he's on? He's on some sort of sail. I don't know. That looks beautiful. That sunset's beautiful. I love that you're sitting back and watching football from that view. And then we've got Martinez that's cheering on Sac State all the way from Michigan. Guys, we're in Fresno, California, and he is able to watch this from Michigan. That's what makes Facebook so cool. There's no commercial breaks. You guys are stuck with us. More chances for you to see yourself up here on this broadcast. Use that hashtag once again. It is SAC, SACSTBSFS.
Well, Danny, I know you're probably aware of this, but David knows it much better than any of us. You really lucked out tonight being on the sideline in these conditions, because I've been here when it's been a lot hotter. Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah, it is beautiful down here, and everybody is really loud down here on the field. I'm very impressed with this crowd.
They're starting to feel it a little bit. They're going to need some help on the defensive side. So if the fans can get in there, like I know they can really help them out on the defensive side. Make it a little bit more difficult for Kevin Thompson.
Opening play, second quarter, 1-point game.
4 receivers down here, a little bit different look. Going back to the backfield, more conventional.
Now we're going to put him right back.
And back out.
And it's a keeper for Thompson. There's a hole there for a moment. It's about 4 yards on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd and long. So what'd you learn in the first quarter, David?
Well, Troy Taylor can call offense. I think he's done a good job giving Kevin Thompson some answers. They've been multiple on the offensive side, and I really like what I've seen. They're going to make it a football game just because of the challenges that they pose from a schematic standpoint. Fresno State's got their hands full. They feel like they have the advantage personnel, but still got to cover down.
Hornets 2 for 3 on 3rd down. He dumps it down. It's complete, and an excellent tackle is made far before the sticks. Deron Bryant comes in there to make the play.
Good coverage down the field. Yep, good coverage down the field. Had to check it down. That's okay. Close football game. Had some pressure. Get the ball out of your hand. No negative plays. It's a good job by Kevin. It's okay to punt a game like this.
I thought you don't like punts.
I like punters now.
Oh, so just that one great punt.
Yeah,
You flip the script.
We'll have to see what the Sac State guys got before I.
It's not a permanent kind of love, right?
No, you got to hit a good one. Very fickle.
Well, with the Aussies back out there, Sam Clark.
He had a good one inside the 10 last time, so maybe he can root one down there.
Ronnie Rivers waiting at his own 35. Good catch, right? For 35.
Team punter.
Now, Fresno State coming off one of the best years in program history. I mean, whenever that happens, you're going to lose a lot. And so we take a look at some of the guys who aren't here anymore.
Yeah, Marcus, I've gotten to know him a little bit in the offseason. He actually came down to Bakersfield and trained with us as he was getting ready for the scouting combine and going into his NFL career. Fantastic talent, accurate, smart, understood the offense. So they, stepping in for him. Jorge, he's got big shoes to fill because Marcus is a fantastic player. And talking to Coach Tedford, he sees similarities in those guys as far as their arm talent.
That's quite a compliment, because I feel like McMarion, you wouldn't necessarily be wowed by him in the warm-ups. You wouldn't see or you wouldn't be like, wow, that guy's got a cannon of an arm. And then at the end of the game, you'd look at his stats and be like, wow, he made a lot of good decisions tonight.
He was really good at anticipating. He knew where to go with the football. Even when he came in, transferred in, he picked up the offense like in a week. I mean, he was really impressive. Jorge, different skill set, but they see similarities in him that they like. And everyone's different. They play the game differently, and you got to adapt as a coach. But they got a good one. They just got to let him develop a little bit. And he's shown that he can get through some reads in this game.
Rain, and that's right on target. Beautiful
nice
throw
play.
and catch right there over the middle of the field.
Nice play design.
Coleman with the catch, Perryman the tackle.
A lot of times you feel like you're banging your head into a wall running that inside zone, but as soon as you stick it in there and fake it, now those linebackers have to respect it just because you've been running it and you get a nice throw on the inside.
Gain of 14. 1st and 10 at the Hornets 46. Ran to the throw again, right on target.
That was really good. That was a good throw to the outside. Those aren't easy throws. That was good anticipation as well by Jorge.
Zane Pope with another catch. He's having a big first half.
Draws up the underneath coverage, had good leverage on the outside. A nice throw, good accurate throw. He's seen the field really well. Feeling really confident. Hasn't had to use his legs a whole lot, just enough. Making good decisions.
He's 11 of 13 for 138 yards and a touchdown. Blitz is coming. The right play call for it. As Grimm makes the catch, steps out of bounds. Solid gain on 1st down with 8.
Good job finding the off coverage. You got the quick out. You want to be careful where you throw that football. A little bit inside, but you had enough coverage off that you were able to miss a little bit, but still good pickup on first down.
It's one thing to have the skill set, but when you're effectively a rookie, I would imagine one of the key things is getting everybody on that offense to buy in that you are that guy. And we'll get to more of that after the play, but it seems to be such an important part. It's not just the physical tools, but your ability to lead. And Reyna hands it off. It's Rivers, and he'll be brought down after they pick up the first down. You played at every level. You had success at every level. And managing a locker room, managing an offense, these are things I think people don't talk about enough, how critical it is for a team's success.
It's the most important thing. Your physical talent will eventually show, and what you can do on the football field will just naturally happen. But getting out of the huddle, understanding where to go with the ball, knowing when to take an 8-yard throw on first down, make plays with your feet. That's another thing that makes that happen faster. Is teams love to see guys, the quarterback, make plays with their feet, and he can do that.
Again, it's Rivers, and he will be stood up at the 16-yard line.
Because as you do that, as you make plays with your legs, that even inspires the defense. Like, defense doesn't care if you just methodically go down the field and make throws. They want to see toughness. It's hard to show toughness at the quarterback position, but running the football, making the plays that he made at USC, I mean, that inspires guys. That gets them on your side and gets you to become the leader pretty quick.
Rodriguez can't make the catch. But continuing that point, David, about what goes into being a quarterback, I've said this, and I've seen team sports all around the globe, but I don't think there's any player more important in any team sport to a team's success than the quarterback position. Yeah. You having played it, there's just so much that goes into it, and just the amount that you got on your plate week in and week out, it just blows me away how much they put on the quarterback.
It is a lot. It can be overwhelming at times, but there's nothing better. I mean, it's just a fantastic environment to be in if you can make it work.
3rd and long. And Reyna will go down, so the pressure gets to him. Yeah. Obina makes the sack. George Obina, senior from Tracy, California.
Yeah, they've done a good job covering down. Had some big plays on 3rd down. He didn't have anywhere to throw the football. Try to tuck it, make a play, and good pass rush, stayed in their lanes. It's good defense by them. Good job by Sac State.
35-yard field goal attempt coming up. Silva missed his opening attempt of the game. It's a hit off the right crossbar. That one was from 49. Should be much easier. He pushes this one out to the right, so a tough start for Silva in the kicking game.
Not necessarily on team kicker right now, Ari.
Team punter, not team kicker. Yeah.
Team punter right now, necessarily team kicker. We've had a blocked one and a couple missed ones.
Well, it's like the opposite. Like they all look to the quarterback, and the kicker's always the outsider. You only bring him in when he's done something right. Yeah, otherwise, he's on his own field.
Well, that's what they were like. Yeah, they were like, you got one job, man. It's a hard job. Yeah. Like you guys go kick it. It's not easy. Ask the Bears. They've had a hard time finding one.
Well, the Bears figured it out last week.
Right? Yeah, they did figure it out. 2 50-yarders. That's nice. It's hard though, man. Like I being a kicker, I don't know if I got 5 kids. I don't know if I'd have any of them be a kicker.
I don't think so. It's too much. Maybe the punter, less stressful.
Yeah, punter's fine.
All right, Danny, what's going on?
Well, guys, I actually want to draw your attention to the offensive line for Fresno State, because if you notice the center, he's rather short in stature. He's actually just 5'11". Matt Smith is his name. And when he stepped onto campus back in 2016, he had opportunities to play at smaller schools, but instead he accepted a preferred walk-on here in the Valley. And he redshirted his first year, but he was put in a really tough spot when Tedford and the new coaching staff that didn't recruit him rolled into town. But he went right to work. He pushed harder, learned from everyone around him. And 3 years since walking on campus, just this past August, his hard work paid off. He was walking out of dinner when Coach Tedford approached him and said, "Hey, Matt, we're going to put you on scholarship." He said he was stunned at first. He ran and he hugged offensive lineman Nick Abbs right away. He called his parents, who of course were ecstatic for him. They call him the Tank for a reason. His teammates say he's like a wrecking ball out there. He's earned so much respect from his teammates, but also the coaching staff. Offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb says Matt is the unquestioned leader in the offensive line room, which, guys, that's what you want to see out of your center. He goes as far as saying he's like having a coach on the field. He's got a 4.0 in the classroom, but he's also football smart as well. And his head coach uses words like dependable, respected, intelligent leader when describing Smith. So he is undersized, but he has earned his spot on that field, guys.
I know for a guy like you, center's got to be the most important position. That's the first guy you're buying dinner for, right?
Oh, I was locked into what Danny was talking about. That makes me happy. That makes my heart happy, because for a guy like that to come in and earn that spot, and then there's so much asked of the center to line everybody up. And when you got a team, even like Sac State, there's so much movement, so many moving parts. You got to have that guy in the middle that can kind of bring solidarity and get guys going in the right direction. I love that.
All right, another drive starting up. Yeah, Danny's great. She'll keep bringing it all night. Thompson all day to throw, scans the field. Now he's going to take off and dump it down. Catch is made for a moment, and then the ball is knocked out. That was a big hit on the back end, Weiland free. I just feel like now whenever I see a big hit, I kind of check myself for a second to make sure that there's no targeting involved.
I know. Unfortunately, that's where we are. It was great coverage down the field. Another good job by Kevin, just trying to find something.
And there is a flag. Let's wait to see what it is.
Personal foul, roughing the passer with targeting, number 29, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. Previous play is under further review.
So that's Justin Rice, and that would be critical. If he gets tossed from this game, he's a really good player. He's already caused 4 turnovers himself this year in a little more than 2 games.
And you can see Justin saying, I just hit it with my shoulder. So hopefully that's the case as they look at it.
Right, but you just watch football differently. I was watching the Wisconsin-Michigan game earlier today, and both starting safeties for Wisconsin were tossed for targeting it. One was egregious. The guy deserved to be tossed. The other one is like both of them moved to the same place at the same time, and their helmets hit. There was no malice. There was no bad intentions.
Look, and I'm an offensive guy, and I don't want to get hit. I don't want any of my offensive guys getting hit like that. But I just don't know how you hit as a defender sometimes when it's in that situation. I mean, that right there, that's a difficult one because he's trying to hold up, and his helmet might have hit him. I mean, you can watch. He tries to pull off, and his arms are almost out to his side here. I'm not trying to hit him. I promise.
Well, he certainly didn't lead with the helmet at all. He turned so that the helmet wasn't involved in the play at all.
After reviewing the play, there is no foul for targeting. Number 29 remains in the game. The roughing the passer is enforced. First down, Sacramento State.
Well, you lose a little bit there with the penalty, but you gain a lot by keeping Justin Rice on the field.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. You didn't want to lose that guy. Good football player.
And they just talk about he's really that glue guy who connects the 3 levels of the defense, that they really need him out there.
You got a middle linebacker, you got a chance. You got a guy that can line people up. You got a guy who can force turnovers, just make plays. And he's a fantastic one. So good to see him stay on the field.
1st and 10 for the Hornets. Set up the inside screen game to Pierre Williams. Good thing Justin Rice is still out there because he makes the tackle.
That was a great play. They had it set up, had bodies out there in front, and he does a great job fighting off the block and making the tackle. Could have been a big game.
Keep it on the ground, and Dodson again shows off that good hard running.
Good physical run, right behind his shoulder pads. Good movement up front by the offensive line, and just a natural cutback lane. Love when backs finish forward. I love it. It's my favorite. I might be on team running back too.
I think every quarterback should be on team running back.
Oh, I spoke too soon.
Dodson stopped at the line of scrimmage. Kopo comes up there, number 98, to make the play.
Penetration, getting up the field on zone runs is a killer, especially inside zone. That's a good get off right there. And tackle for loss, now puts you in long distance.
Thompson forced to check it down. Dodson in space. Got to get by Rice. And he does get by Justin Rice. How about that? Breaking the tackle from Justin Rice in space.
Good looking back. Great protection. Nowhere to throw it down the field. Check it down to your best player, really. And breaks the tackle. Fantastic work. This guy's really impressive.
11 yards there for Dodson.
Suddenness is nice. His strength to finish runs is nice. He's looking for contact right there. He's not trying to go out of bounds. He's going to be tough to deal with.
And got the reverse coming. Only one blocker out in front, so just a gain of a few yards on the play. I like the idea, though.
Yeah. Cross midfield, take a shot. This penalty is here, but
it's Dewey Cotton, number 17, little guy. He's only listed at 5 feet 4 inches tall. You don't see that on a football roster very often.
When you're 5'4", you're usually pretty fast.
You better have something to offer. He's not going up in traffic,
Illegal block
right?
in the waist. Number 16, offense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still second down.
That goes against Martin, who has the lone touchdown on the night for the Hornets.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Cross midfield, you got a chance, got a good drive going. These 15-yard penalties are tough. Good thing. Still got a few downs to figure it out. Get back in there. They've been creative on offense.
They have been. I was just going to say, it's a good watch. Just seeing what they do offensively and how they mix it up and set up different things.
Yeah.
You can see why Troy Taylor is so well respected in the business.
Good job.
Shuffle pass. It's Perkinson. And Perkinson gets almost back to the original line of scrimmage.
I'm sitting here thinking, okay, the flags come in. Screen, draw, and then no, shovel pass. Perfect. So keep them on their toes on the defensive side.
Gain of 10 on the play. Let's see what the flag's all about.
After the play is over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 84, offense. The down will count, 15-yard penalty, second down.
Now they're really hurting themselves with penalties. Yeah. That's on Pierre Williams.
Yeah, that just can't happen. You got a nice play to get it back into a manageable down and distance, and then selfish play.
The play's over.
Yeah, that's good. Have better awareness there. Hurt the team.
Took out the gray shirt freshman Deshaun Ruffin, who's just standing there minding his own business. Second and forever. Second and 26. Thompson, time. Open receiver who stopped his route. Dodson was open, literally came to almost a complete stop. And he kept running. He might still be running.
That was a nice little wrinkle. They actually put the left tackle outside, put Dodson inside, and almost the tackle position. They tried to sneak him through there. He runs into the referee, and then just the angle is tough. I've run plays like that, and it's just hard to find that angle if you're the back. It's almost like it's just a difficult angle to catch the football. It's almost right over your head.
Third down tonight, they're 2 for 4, but this one's going to be real challenging. They need 26 yards. They'll just set up the screen to Dodson, who runs into his own guy. And Bryant was there as well to bring him down.
Good show up by the corner. That's good force. Took on an offensive lineman. A lot of corners aren't willing to do that. That's a good play. Fantastic play.
So Ronnie Rivers will be back deep for the Bulldogs. He's standing at his own 19-yard line. Another chance for David to decide if he likes the punter or not.
We'll see. I'm not sure. I like the fact that he's nosy. Let's see.
Everybody better get out of the way.
It worked out. It worked out. He still might play golf. He's
got a chance. Maybe just 9-hole commitment at this point.
Yeah, like
let's not go crazy.
Municipal course or something.
Something quick. 45-yard punt, nothing on the return. Well, we were talking about leading a team. Just want you to know that I felt a lot for your brother watching Hard Knocks this year, because times it felt, now granted, I know.
Was it dramatic?
It was dramatic, but I also know that what we see isn't what it is day in and day out. That there was a ton of great work being done, but that doesn't necessarily make for great television. But just he has a calmness to his personality and how he seems to be able to interact with every different kind of person on the team. And I took away from it, that's the kind of guy you want to build around.
And it's cool. The more people that I've talked to about, obviously, Hard Knocks, everyone watches it. And they're just kind of finding out what we've always known about Derek. And ever since he was little, he's been the guy, even even the kid at times, where the entire room has to be in the conversation. He's always been that way. He's not just narrowing in on one or two guys. He's great there. His leadership qualities were evident, and they have a good football team. You know, the stuff with Antonio Brown, it was a lot. There was a lot going on. They wanted to just play football. Derek would have loved nothing more than to be able to play football with him, because he's a hard-working guy, and on the field he's fantastic. It just, you know, some things off the field that they just couldn't handle anymore, and they tried everything they couldn't make it work.
And that was before the worst of the news had even come out.
Yeah, exactly.
So now it's really a far bigger mess, so they cut ties at the right time.
Yeah, for sure.
And there you see. Hey, you're familiar with those guys,
You know what's
right?
funny about that is, you know, Derek, ever since I had my number retired, he would always joke. It's like, there's still room up there, you know? Because that spot right there, I mean, you can't see it on Telestrator, but yeah, that number 4, he's been eyeballing that spot. So,
all right, well, let's see if this guy's got a chance to one day get his number up there. What do you think of his performance so far?
He's done a great job. All the stuff that we talked about with the coaching staff, about what they wanted to see in him, eyes down the field. This is a great play. Development, getting through his progressions. We know he can run. We know he can make athletic plays, and that's great to have in your back pocket. But what he's shown so far, as far as just getting through your reads, I know they only got 7 points, but he's played good against a good defense. Defense has been tough. They haven't been able to run the football as effectively as they wanted to, but he's gone to the right place with the ball. He's playing good football. It's good to see.
And the numbers support.
Yeah.
Yep, 12 of 15, 145 yards and a touchdown. Again, he's had to wait 2 weeks, and it looked like he had a game-winning touchdown pass in double overtime. It gets picked off, so great to see him bounce back and play well here in the first half.
Multiple fronts as Matt, center, tries to figure it out again.
Rivers picks up a couple yards on first down. They do track to the football beautifully, the Hornets. Wherever that ball is, it always seems when the tackle is made, they're all coming in.
Sign of a good defense. You pause the film after the play's over, you see a lot of hats in the picture, and that just, over the course of the game, good things happen for the defense. So again, solid against the run, per usual.
The rush yards for Fresno State at 39 so far. It's a different way to get it on the ground, get it into some space. Pretty manageable third down after a gain of 7. Jalen Cropper.
And that's what they've had to go to. We've seen it a couple times so far in the Fresno State drives. Inside runs been stuffed, get 2 or 3 yards, and they go right to the perimeter, either with Ronnie Rivers or one of the wide receivers carrying it, and it's put them in some good down and distances so far.
They're still waiting to see who really is going to emerge as the alpha amongst the receiver group. Without Keyshawn Johnson, there is a void there. Who's going to be the alpha?
Chris Coleman's looked good so far. I like Chris. They got multiple guys. Like the tight end's been kind of quiet here tonight, just based on the defense that they've been seeing. But they have some guys that can step up and make some plays.
3rd and short. Reyna delivers down the field.
Good read.
Really good read, and it's Wheatfall who makes the big play.
That was really nice because you had an underneath throw to Chris, who we just mentioned. And he didn't take it because the corner rolled up, and he just, let's call the hole shot, honey shot, whatever you want to call it. Quarterback finding that area on the sideline in cover 2, the safety over the top, right over the top of the corner. You got to have arm strength to throw that. That was a big throw. Good job by Reyna. He's happy. Look at that little smile. That's good, man. Feel good about it.
That's not just like a tight smile. Like
no, that was like, yeah.
Okay,
that was a good
we're
one.
flowing.
That was a good one, right, Jeff?
Okay.
Yeah, Jeff. That's a good one.
I like that.
I don't think he calls me Jeff, though. Probably wouldn't be a good idea.
Unless maybe away from the facility,
Maybe.
perhaps.
Get away with that at his house.
A timeout has been called. 4:08 to go in this opening half, and we expected a pretty close game. Sometimes it's hard to measure the top line FCS versus an FBS opponent, but we knew that Sacramento State had gone to Arizona State, played them tough, and Fresno State knew Arizona State really well from their bowl game last year.
Yep. I think when you look at it schematically also, you can kind of see, you know what, this might be a tough matchup because do a lot up front on defense. Fresno struggled running the football inside. They still have tonight. That's why the game's close. And then offensively for Sac State, they're multiple. They do a lot. And Kevin Thompson, experienced quarterback with Troy Taylor's a good play caller. So you can see why it's like this. I mean, this is a good football team, Sac State.
And both quarterbacks have made good decisions tonight.
They have. That's been fun. It's often hard to do a game have them making bad decisions. You want to be nice to the quarterbacks, but they've done a great job tonight.
So it's just easier in general if everybody just makes great plays.
Right.
We get to be nice the whole time.
That's right.
Reyna with plenty of time, going up over the top, looking for Weedfall, and he comes down with it. It's going to be first and goal for Fresno State.
Great play design. Good action up front. Safety's eyes in the backfield. Good protection. Good air on the ball. Jeff Tedford was, I mean, I used to come in throwing the post, and I threw it on a line. And Jeff, more air. Give him more air. Give him a chance to run underneath it and let your receiver make a play. The DB will lose it. They're not as good at ball skills, and that was a great job.
They keep it on the ground. Rivers gets to the edge and in for 6. Touchdown Bulldogs.
They've had success out there all night on the perimeter with the wide receivers. Now it's Rivers. Good play design. Get him moving, get him on the outside, get him in space. Dynamic back. I'm on team running back. You know that. Good play, good blocking down the field also. Good finish. Yeah, get excited.
I love that he just was not going to be denied. He was going to get to that pylon one way or another.
A little overdrive there, it was good.
Well, Rivers, he's a guy that, while he's statistically, his numbers are actually more impressive catching the football, given that coming into this year, catching the football hadn't really been his thing, but want to get some rushing touchdowns, and they finally break that and get him his first score on the ground this year.
Yeah, and it's a little bit more unconventional, bringing him from, as we are now calling it, the Bulldog sweep area, but you got to do it. You got a tough front. It's been difficult to run inside, so get Ronnie on the perimeter, utilize your speed. It's great. More of that.
Outstanding driving. When I asked about, who's the alpha receiver, I believe that Carrick Weedfall might have heard us up here.
You heard us talking about
he had
Coleman.
Some
I don't
huge
think
plays.
like that.
Yeah.
Those receivers are sometimes they're a little bit selfish, but you gotta have that. You gotta want the football. All right, I want it. I don't want to talk about my buddy. Talk about me.
5 plays, 84 yards, and just 2:34 off the clock. All right, let's learn more about Ronnie Rivers from Danny.
Well, guys, when Ronnie Rivers was just a young boy, he would run around the football field and he would turn to his dad and he'd say, "Dad, someday I'm going to go to Fresno State and I'm going to crush all of your records." And his dad, whose name is Ron Rivers, looked at him and got a kick out of it. He's like, "Son, you haven't even gotten through high school football yet." And Ron Rivers actually was the leading rusher in Fresno State history, racking up 3,473 yards in just 3 seasons. He played 6 NFL seasons with Detroit and Atlanta. And you know what? Rivers loved that his son wanted to take in his footsteps. He coached his son in youth league and high school. They'd watch film, understand formations, how to read a defense, work on pass protection as they got closer to college, just so that Rivers was a well-rounded back. Ronnie actually said, "I'm like 9, 10 years old watching film. I don't want to do that. I want to play video games." But his dad said, "You got to learn this stuff now so it's easier later on." Well, Ronnie Rivers now at Fresno State, and it's paying off. And get this, his running back coach, Jamie Christian, was also a teammate of his dad back in 91 and to 93. And he says that Ronnie is actually a mirror image of his dad. Their movements, everything is the exact same. He actually thinks Ronnie is slightly faster than his dad Ron was. But very cool. Ron Rivers is now watching football from a completely different perspective. He's been around the school. His daughter Malia played softball here at Fresno State, and now he's a season ticket holder, checking out what tailgating's all about and watching his son from the stands. But guys, also just to tie this whole story together a little bit further, Tedford was the offensive coordinator when Rivers played at Fresno State, and now he's his son's head coach.
That's amazing stuff, Danny, and it really does speak to what I want to bring up. I feel like around Fresno State, it really is all in the family.
Yeah, as she was telling that story, I just couldn't help but think about Derek and how he was kind of brought up and sitting in quarterback rooms in the NFL and throwing balls to Andre Johnson down in Houston. And you're just around the game, so you can pick it up faster. And we saw Ronnie play last year as a freshman. Like, he was on the field because he knew what to do. Running backs can't play if you can't protect. And so he was out there, and Jeff raves about that. He just knows who to pick up, understands protections, and now you get chances in the running game, and he's done a fantastic job.
Well, I'd heard lots of stories about the fact that your little brother looked up to you a lot and wanted to follow in your footsteps. So I take it wasn't a real hard recruiting pitch to get him to come up here to the Valley.
You know, it wasn't, and I didn't want to be that brother that was just Fresno State every day. Every time we woke up and had some Cheerios, I was telling him about the Bulldogs. He knew about the Bulldogs. He was around when we were doing all of our, having all of our, our big games here. He was on the field at Oregon State when they tore the goalpost down. I lost him for a minute. My mom was freaking out because I apparently I'm in charge of Derek after the football game was over, and I just ended up playing. So, but he's around the game just like Ronnie, and they just naturally pick it up, and it just becomes easier to get out there and play early.
Thompson, pocket breaks down, and he will go down after a loss of a yard. But I think it speaks to almost any sport or any industry. If a child's exposed to it early and is around it, they're going to be comfortable. They're not going to be awed by the moment because this is what they've done their whole life.
Offside, number 51, defense, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Alex Cruz.
Well, as I played quarterback more and I got further along in my career, I realized how much of it was mental and how much of it was in preparation. And I knew that Derek, around 10 or 12, he wanted to start playing quarterback. And I knew that if I could help him from that side and slow the game down, everything else would just be easier, and the physical talent could just then blossom.
Thompson, and that's tipped, and almost a chance at an interception. Ricky McCoy got his hands on the football. He's from right here in Fresno.
Fresno's done a good job these first two plays, covering down in the last one, and then getting their hands up in the passing lane.
Walker dove for it, couldn't come up with it. He has really become a playmaker at the linebacker position. Gursky and Bednarik watch lists. A lot of guys on this team are on watch lists coming off that 12-win season. Ooh. Chance for a pick right there. Aaron Mosby.
It's hard as a quarterback because so many times tonight Kevin's dropped back and there's just been coverage down the field. And you make the right decision 2, 3, 4 times. And the 5th time you say, you know what, I'm just going to try and fit one in there. And he did there, and it almost cost him. Still got a chance, 3rd and 5. Manageable down distance.
They're 2 for 5 on 3rd down tonight.
Play coverage here.
And the running back had it for a moment, Dotson, and the ball comes out. Justin Rice there in coverage.
Give your best player a chance, matched up in coverage, one-on-one. You like that? You like that matchup? Go to it. But good coverage. Had inside leverage. Was waiting for it. Good defense right there. Get off the field.
Good punt this time. Rivers does the prudent thing and calls for the fair catch. 39-yard punt, nothing on the return. Still plenty of time for the Bulldogs. 2:48 to work with here.
This is a situation right here you feel like you can take advantage of. You got an opportunity. 2:48, 2 timeouts. Methodically work your way down the field. Try to get some points on the board and create some separation here. It's 1-score games. Pressure tends to shift in the second half towards the team that should win the football game.
The favorite, right?
And that's what's hard. You don't want to be in that situation.
And it's also one thing to remind everybody of: 2 missed field goals. So wonder if that'll factor into the decision making here late in the second quarter.
That's right.
Reyna, a lot of moving parts in front of him. He's going to throw this one down the field. Throws it short, and it's incomplete, but it leads to a flag. It's a little bit unlucky there. Davian Ross was doing well in coverage. The ball was so underthrown that he ended up interfering.
Number 24, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
I think we'll see Ronnie Rivers comes up with a pretty good block here to give Reyna enough time to get the ball down the field.
Yeah, they kind of got bailed out right there. He had a chance down the field, and then it was underthrown, and ends up just running into the wide receiver. So
Weedball had him beat.
Yeah, he was behind the coverage, and he was in catch-up mode. Just got to look back. Look back, you got a chance.
Reyna up over the top.
Out of bounds inside.
And I tell you this, Wheatfall can beat anybody on their defense, it appears.
I like the fact that they're testing down the field. That's going to open up things in the intermediate level. But just the fact that they're taking these shots when you get single safety, right in the middle of the field, you got one-on-one on the outside. You just ran by him earlier. Come back to it. But you're right, he's got some speed down the field. That could be a real weapon for him.
Reyna, good pocket. Nice throw. Gets it to Chris Coleman. That's a real good throw.
Yeah, it was nice because he actually fell down on his route. He was trying to come back to the outside, and they had enough time in the backfield. Did a good job up front with the offensive line handling the stunts for the receiver to stand up and get back on his route. It's a good throw by Jorge there also.
22 yards on the play for the Bulldogs.
It's trickery.
They want to throw it again, the double pass. Decided this time. And the ball comes out. The Hornets have it. They need one block. Unbelievable turn of events. Isaiah Butler ends up with the football.
Ripped it out. And you can see with the motion, anytime a receiver motions across and kind of kicks back in that funny, 3 or 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, you kind of know something's coming. Sac State was on it. They had good coverage and then just come over and rip the football out. It's a great play.
I mean, Pope was almost down, but a heady play to just keep trying to get that ball out. They rip it out. Now they're in business.
What a change of events now. You got a timeout in your pocket, minute 50. Good quarterback, good play caller. Try and find something. Getting the end zone here would be huge.
The field goal kicker's only attempted one field goal this season. He's 0 for 1. They're definitely thinking 6 here.
Troy Taylor not on team kicker. Wants to score touchdowns.
Thompson, little pump fake. Good coverage. He's going to take off and run. Very nice tackle. Kevin Atkins able to hold on there.
Great coverage down the field, like you mentioned. They tried to get him with the double move at the top of the screen. Didn't bite. Had a nice little concept working down at the bottom, but they had it covered up pretty good.
They got plenty of time to work with. Thompson, quarterback draw. Sort of misread that blocker. Could have turned into a bigger play.
Yeah, it's nice play design. I think you're right. If he would have stayed to the correct side, but it's hard. Quarterbacks, we're just quarterbacks. You run quarterback draws with us. Sometimes we do it right, sometimes we mess it up. I'm not a running back. I'll be too hard on Mark.
I mean, look, most of the time I want to protect the quarterback. This guy looks like he can run it.
He can run it. He definitely can. He's definitely a weapon there.
Thompson throws on target. They've got the first down.
Just continue to be impressed with Troy Taylor and his offensive scheme. I mean, that's a fantastic play design. You bunch to the top with the 3 receivers, motion them back out of the backfield. You put a lot of pressure for the defense to just line up, and then you put pressure on them with the concept as well.
And you can't find Gable at 5'4" out there.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Thompson on target. It's Williams, and it will be 1st and goal at the 2.
Create a little space with the run action, drawing him to the sideline. Linebacker has no choice but to step up. Go quick here.
There's going to be a timeout before the play.
That's a good timeout. They were going to walk in.
Prior to the snap, Fresno State has called their second charge timeout. 30 seconds in length.
I know it's hard to say, oh, it's Sac State. Why are they hanging around? But great offensive scheme. Really enjoyed watching them on film. And what they've shown out here against Watts is a great defensive coordinator. They've put a lot of pressure on that defense.
As I started my preparation, earlier in the week, one of the first things I was reading were comments from Coach Tedford. And Coach Tedford's like, look, we got to play a really, really good football team. And he's, coming off losing to Minnesota. I think a lot of people think, oh, this is a layup. You're playing an FCS opponent. I think he wanted to get everyone's attention that this is going to be a huge challenge.
Walking into the stadium, talked to a lot of people that I've known forever, and that's all they can say. This will be easy. There'll be a walk. I'm like, you guys watch the film. It's not going to be a walk. They got some good players and some great design. It's going to be a true challenge.
Well, they've got 13 seconds and a timeout, so they can do whatever they want here. They can use the middle of the field. They can run the football. Interesting, Dotson's not in the game at running back. It's Perkinson. Thompson rolling out, and it's caught by Perkinson. Touchdown, Hornets.
Blown coverage. They were on it initially. It's a good play design, but Fresno State initially had it covered up. Cornerback ends up falling off the running back who he was initially on. You can see him just kind of jumps back. Possibly Kevin Thompson's eyes. I'm going to give credit to the quarterback there, Ari. I'm going to say he took those eyes back inside for a flash and was able to come back and still find the back.
Now this time they are going to go for 2. And a flag has been thrown, and they do not convert. That was a monster hit at the end of that play. So let's wait and see what the flag's all about. It came from behind the play. Rice and Mosby able to bring him down.
Some type of illegal procedure, I would think. A lot of moving parts there.
There is no foul on the play for an illegal substitution. The try is no good.
Big tackle.
Big tackle means Fresno State's going to have a 2-point lead. Marquis Johnson was the guy they were trying to get it into the end zone. He was stopped just short. So there's the turnover.
It's a great play. You go from the offensive side for Fresno State, you think you're going to make a big play, and it ends up being a turnover, and then great play design, get the quarterback on the perimeter, he can run. I'm going to give credit to him.
It really looked like it there.
He looked back inside.
Yeah, he looked back inside.
That's what happened, yeah. Good
and
job
this looked
by
like
him.
it was going to be good, the conversion,
It did.
and they stop him just inches shy of the goal line.
A lot of different formations, a lot of different places to take your eyes. They're just putting a lot of pressure on Fresno State's defense. They're hanging in there.
Well, I was asked before the game on the radio show I was referring to earlier, and they said, give us a scenario where Sac State wins. I said, well, if they do a great job stopping the run. Well, they've been able to do that.
Yep.
Only 13 rush yards. And that they would need to hang around and be a one-score game in the fourth quarter where anything could happen. I said that's the only scenario where they can win, and so far they've lived up to the challenge.
Heading that direction, it appears. They've done a good job. Really impressed with this team.
On the squib kick. Pretty good return. There'll be just a few seconds left on the clock. Do you just take a knee here, or do you try to do something?
It's tough because you're at home, so you want to think that you have the advantage here. You got a timeout in your pocket. You can take a chance to run something safe here and see what you get. You hand the ball off, throw a screen to the perimeter, and they're going to take a knee, of course, against everything that I just told you. So forget what I said.
But I put you
Bulldog
in that
fans.
spot. I put you in a tight corner because.
Well, you know what, Artie? I think I would have went for it. So, Jeff, step your game up, man. Be a little more aggressive. All right.
Great opportunity for him as we take a look at the stats and look at the rush yards for the Bulldogs. But I do have to put a qualifier. I hate the fact that quarterback sacks are part of, because it doesn't give us the number that really tells the story of the running game.
I agree. Yep, I agree. And the run game has been there. It's just been different. They've thrown it to the outside. They've used the sweeps to the perimeter. So it's been better than that. It hasn't been atrocious. It's got to be more creative.
Thompson hands it off, and what a play in the backfield.
Nice play.
Jacopo.
Pressure in the
He is
backfield.
a big boy, 5'11", 290 pounds. All right, here's the poll question, David. What will be the result of the first possession of the second half? You see, we've got 4 options here: touchdown, field goal, punt, or interception.
Can I wait until after this play? All right, so they lost 5 yards on the first down. That's not a good thing. I'm going to say punt. But we'll see what happens.
Thompson steps up, and that one right into the artificial turf.
Start so far.
Punt's looking like a real good option for that poll question.
Team punter. I'm team punter today, but not necessarily what you want to do. You got a chance down 2 points to make something happen. You come out with a negative yardage run and then an inerrant pass, but might have got his hand hit there. Kevin's looked more accurate than that tonight, so that's what I'm doing 3rd and 1.
Decent numbers for Thompson. 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. He has not turned the football over.
Crowd get up and get behind him a little bit on defense, help him out.
Set up the screen game, and it's Gable, and Gable will be stopped at the 28-yard line and will force the Hornets into a punting situation.
You can't necessarily blame him.
Look, 69% agreed. It's going to be a punt.
That's good. Smart audience. Can't blame him, though, for the inside screen on 3rd and long. You just had pressure on your quarterback. Offensive coordinators, play callers, they get nervous when they see pressure on the quarterback on 2nd down. It tends to be a pretty safe play that next time around. No one wants to see the ball fall in the quarterback's hands. So, good, smart play, punt the ball away, play some defense.
Sam Clark out to punt. Ronnie Rivers waits at his own 31-yard line. Rivers hustles over. No fair catch, breaks a couple tackles, still on his feet. And Rivers knocks out of bounds at the 42-yard line. What a spark for the Bulldogs as Ronnie Rivers showed some guts there on that punt return.
Really nice return. Just getting to the ball and making a play on it out by the numbers and then breaking a couple tackles. Stiff arm is nice and good speed. Your dad wasn't that fast, Ronnie. Your dad was physical. You are both. That's nice to see at the young back. Good returner as well. Trust the guy. That's a good sign, too. You put your young back to return punts in a tight game. That's a good sign. Trust that kid.
No, you're not alone in liking Ronnie Rivers as he's on the Doak Walker and the Horning watch list. A junior from Brentwood, California.
Rightfully so. Pressure.
Blitz is coming. Get it out on the perimeter to Rice. That made a guy miss.
I did too. That's a great tackle.
And Barnes hung in there against the big tight end.
I like what I saw, though, from Sac State and Fresno. Get it out on the perimeter. That's what we talked about at halftime. But then Sac State, they got the ball on the 40-yard line. We're coming after you. We're not going to sit back and just play defense and watch you walk down the field. I like both sides there. It's a great play.
Reyna moving to his left. Delicate throw, completes it. And close to a first down. Jared Rice makes the catch.
Good play design, caught him in a little bit of a stunt. That's what you can do sometimes. You get a defense that moves a lot up front. If you can get them going the wrong direction and get out on the perimeter with the quarterback, you can get easy throws. Easy throw right there, picks up a couple of yards, 3rd and 1.
Well, Jared Rice, a former wide receiver, has turned into a real good tight end.
He has, and he's a weapon. They haven't utilized him as much tonight, but in the run game with the quarterback, you can get easy throws to the tight ends.
You got to like those numbers from a quarterback.
He's been really efficient, and he's gone to the right place the majority of the time.
Keep it on the ground. It's well defended. I don't think he got it, but it's close.
Good defense. Good
run
defense.
The ball carrier. It is just shy. And it appears they're going to go for it. They're getting up on the ball quickly, trying to catch Sac State. Not ready. They give it to Reyna, and it appears Reyna has the first down.
I like that. Tight game. That's not an easy call to put their offense back on the field, but it appears as though they have it.
Well, I sometimes get anxious when a team tries to go quick. Sometimes I think they're going too quick for themselves, and I worry that everybody won't be on the right
very
snap
real.
count.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very real. As long as you've done it in practice, you've practiced it, and you know the mechanics of how to get the ball snapped. You don't have to worry about a false start or anything. Quarterback sneak's pretty safe. Pressure again. See if they stay in it. And you're going to roll it. See, the defense coordinator wants that pressure.
The pressure is coming, and Reyna avoids it, stays on his feet, and he gets inside the 20.
Nice job by Reyna. You could see him show the pressure. They look back to the sideline. Coach, they saw us. What do we do? We saw the coach on the sideline run it, run the pressure, and Reyna does a great job stepping up in the pocket. This is hidden yardage. This is stuff that we don't necessarily see on the stat sheet. It'll add a couple to the running game, but that's a huge play. That pressure could have knocked him back to the 40-yard line, and now they're sitting there with 1st and 10 on the 19. So great play by Reyna.
Marcus Hawkins tended to by their medical staff, and good news, he's able to walk off on his own. So Reyna with the nifty feet sets up the Bulldogs 1st and 10 in the red zone.
I like that Sac State staying aggressive, though. They realize the type of game they're in. They got to keep the pressure on the offense.
Reyna pump fake. And it was almost caught and broken up at the last moment. Zane Pope, the wide receiver.
I can see why they've taken chances down there. I feel like they have a real matchup issue on the outside, Sac State, because those wide receivers are in good position. Reyna's giving them a chance. Honestly, the cornerback didn't really do a good job finding the ball, and just got to make that play.
Well, Pope's really got a huge size advantage. He's 6'2", close to 200 pounds, and Butler there in coverage. They list him at 5'10". He doesn't appear that way from here.
Yeah, that's a good point. Go back to that matchup. Loaded up inside again. We'll challenge him outside.
Go to the option. And that's well defended.
Yeah, we got to hold him there. It looked like it. It's close.
Yeah, there's a flag at the 16-yard line.
Sac State continues to do a great job getting to the football. You play with great effort.
Holding, number 7, offense, 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Darion Grimm, wide receiver, guilty of the hold.
It's a good sign to see your corners and safeties playing hard on the perimeter, trying to make plays. Corners trying to make a tackle. I mean, that's great effort caused the hold there. Good job by them. There's pressure again. See if they stay with it. I think they're going to call out of it. And he's going to check. Give him a chest.
And Hawkins is back in there for the Hornets. Reyna dumps it down. And they're able to just hold on at the 17-yard line. Rivers with the catch.
It's always fun to see that game go on between the defensive coordinator and the offensive coordinator or the quarterback. They had the pressure on. They looked to the sideline. Coach, they sauce in it. Check out, play cover 2. All right, we'll check also and check it down. It's just a back and forth battle. It never ends.
That's the chess match. Reyna on 3rd down, in some trouble. And he'll finally go down. Try to extend that play as long as possible. Chote comes in to finish it off. Our outstanding defensive tackle.
Good hard rush. Nice movement up front. Gets on the edge, and then quarterback sees color in his face, and it's just a little uncertain. You don't want to let it go.
All right, this has been a problem area so far here, David, is the kicking game. This would be a 37-yard attempt. Silva's 0 for 2, missed from 49 and 35. Both of them he's missed to the right. Kick on the way, and it's moving to the right. Oh goodness, he's missed again.
That's why my boys don't kick. Sorry.
That hurts though.
Yeah,
that hurts.
Definitely does. My goodness.
But just because you feel like if you're at the end of the game now and you're down by 2 points, how good do you feel? I mean, you almost feel like you're going to have to score a touchdown then, even though, points-wise, the differential, you don't need a touchdown. But I don't know if you could trust him anymore tonight.
Well, I think we've even seen how Coach Tedford feels about it. I mean, that wasn't a 4th and 1. The last 4th and 1, they went for it. Quarterback sneak, hurried to the line. So I think that if it's a 4th and less than 2 or 3, they're probably going to stay on the field at this point. I think you almost have to.
Danny. How are you?
Ari, I think that we would be doing our viewers a disservice if we didn't pick David Carr's brain about all the happenings among the NFL right now, because there's been some changes at quarterback, specifically with a guy that he played with in Eli Manning. So, David, just to pick your brain about Daniel Jones coming in, I mean, he's wearing your number, number 8.
And Danny, he didn't even ask for permission.
He didn't ask permission to wear that thing, did he? Yeah, I know, total disrespect on his part.
It's so thick.
But how do you feel that Eli Manning should handle this? How do you think he will handle this? And just kind of your overall thoughts on the situation since we've got you up there in the booth.
Well, obviously I love Eli Manning. Eli Manning is the reason I have a Super Bowl ring in my office. Fantastic quarterback. I've never been around a smarter player. I enjoyed every second with that guy. Love that guy. Having said that, the Giants are in a situation where they need some help. They need a spark. Eli has not played terrible. I thought in the preseason he looked pretty good. Looked like he had some juice on the football. Looked like he was throwing it well. But where they are in their state as far as an offensive unit, they don't have any playmakers. Odell Beckham's not there anymore. Saquon Barkley's really your only guy. You got some injuries at the wide receiver position. You have an upgraded offensive line. You drafted Daniel Jones high. I like Daniel Jones. I got a chance to meet him, spent some time with him. He's a fantastic kid.
Well,
go ahead.
I liked your answer on that, so I'll take the pressure off a little bit.
Okay.
You won a Super Bowl. Can we go back to that? And you did it with a Fresno State teammate in Bear Pasco. Yeah.
I did.
So
Bear's
what was
fantastic.
it like to win with a former Fresno State teammate at Super Bowl?
Well, it's funny because Bear was with the 49ers, and he came out to New York, and I'm running the scout team, some of the backup quarterback to Eli, and Bear comes, and he's a Fresno State guy, and so I'm going to throw him the ball every time. So that whole week, I threw the ball to Bear Pasco probably 100 times. So about 2 weeks go by, and he gets put on the active roster. And I'll continue that after we watch this play.
Loss of a couple there on first down.
But he makes it on the active roster, plays fantastic football, ends up catching a touchdown in the NFC Championship game. We go on to the Super Bowl, we win the Super Bowl. He almost had to play tackle. We had so many injuries at tackle during the game. They went to him at one point and said, hey, Bear, can you play left tackle? He said, I'll do whatever you need. So we won a Super Bowl together with Bear. Fantastic guy. I love Bear Pasco.
Awesome stuff. See what I mean, Ari? You got to pick his brain.
I mean, we're sitting next to a Super Bowl champion. This is good living right here. Thompson way downfield. Heard he was just trying to get rid of that one as it was nowhere close to his intended target of Dewey Cotton.
They were hoping for man coverage. They had some crossing routes going. Didn't get the coverage they wanted, but still had a chance down the field. Just good coverage on the back end.
I got to get in my 2 cents on the Eli Manning thing.
Yes.
Out of every building I went to as a reporter for the NFL Network, I never dealt with an easier franchise quarterback than Eli Manning. I guess my only issue is I just wish that they could have handled it more gracefully. I don't know even what that picture looks like.
Yeah,
but just 2 games in seems pretty harsh.
It doesn't really look like they had a plan, honestly.
Thompson, they were trying to set up the screen, and that's knocked down. Justin Rice makes another play. I guess that's what I took away from it. It just looked bad all around.
Yeah, it did, and it wasn't handled well. And the guy won 2 Super Bowls for you. I understand you're paying him, $15 million to now be a scout team quarterback, but that just doesn't make any sense to me. If you're going to build a team around Daniel Jones now, then do something else with Eli in the offseason. Don't bring him in to play 2 games what did you get out of it? You got nothing out of it. You're just wasting cap space. You got a guy that's a great football player that can still play. He could be useful. You could have traded him for someone. He could have gone and played somewhere else. Now he's going to sit there for the next couple months, completely useless unless something happens that you don't want to happen. Just a bad scenario.
Fair catch made. Well, you just look at his older brother. He was able to go to another team. Granted, he had probably more years left, but by the very end, Peyton Manning was not the same quarterback he was during his best years, but was still smart enough and good enough to lead a team to a Super Bowl. And there's no doubt in my mind, if Eli Manning was in the right situation, he could do the same thing.
Just talking to Eli Manning in the offseason, he felt like he had the best offseason he'd had his entire career. He felt as good as he'd ever felt. Put a lot of work in just to improve his, just his arm. Everything was feeling good. He was really encouraged about going into this season. That's what's the difficult part is now it's kind of wasted. It's kind of wasted. And I understand from a schematic standpoint as I talked about earlier, Daniel Jones is going to provide some mobility. He did a good job at Duke being able to get out of the pocket and move. So maybe you can do some of that stuff with Saquon and maybe put a spark in this offense. But it's just a bad situation.
Bad look. All right, Danny, what's up?
Well, guys, I just want to take a time now to take a social media time out here and take a look at who's been posting on Instagram. Remember, you can be seen on this broadcast using that hashtag SAC, SACSTBSFS. And now look at this. Enthusiastic Greg is showing off his enthusiasm for Fresno State with his t-shirt and his dog. So cute. From Iowa, guys. From Iowa. So cool. And then take a look at C. Todd 1010 watching his game in his garage. That's quite a setup. You can see the car, everything going on in there. Thanks, C. Todd, for checking us out. And then Reno Soccer 14 is sitting in her hotel room in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, cheering on the Bulldogs. We've got people all over this country tuning in. That's what makes this Facebook broadcast so much fun.
Well, thanks. Yeah, next time, tell C. Todd, if you're listening still, I want to see you like under the hood fixing something while you're there, and then get the picture of you looking up at the game and like a tool in your hand. I think that let's go next level.
He thinks it's a staged picture is what he's saying. He doesn't think that you're actually going to do anything in that garage besides watch football. You just tell your wife, I'm going to go work on the car.
Yeah.
I'm going to go work on the car. You're just watching
football. And
football.
it always needs something, right?
You're
Especially in the fall, funny enough. The car always needs more work in the fall.
Goodness. So much work. Interesting how that works out.
All right, another chance here for Fresno State. So the offense has been pretty consistent all night, but 3 missed field goals. This game could very easily be 23-12 right now.
Yep.
Instead, just 14-12.
Well, the fact that you're kicking field goals, Sac State's playing good red zone defense, and then you missed them. So now it's a 2-point game, but you got a chance still, right around midfield, make something happen.
Reyna, all kinds of time. He's going for it all.
Oh, great play.
Great play because Perryman was not even in view for a moment. He came in to help out from the safety spot.
That's a fantastic play. Right
the
there.
DB had fallen already.
I mean, he doesn't look back, which Earl Thomas would be very disappointed in, but the fact that you got there shows good range and a big pass break up to bail your corner out. And Fresno, I like the fact that they're taking shots because they've run by the corner several times tonight. They just haven't connected, but all but one, really.
If they could get the ball thrown out far enough, Wheatfall can go catch anything. I mean, he looks like the fastest guy on the field tonight.
He can definitely scoot. Pressure.
Reyna saw the back was covered in the flat, and he takes off. Good awareness, takes a pretty good hit, and here comes the flag. Got to protect the quarterback.
Coach is hot, too. Right from the side. I understand. Defense corner is going to be hot. When you slide, don't touch him. You can't touch us. Good job, though, by peeling off. Had the blitz.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, late hit, number 39. Defense, 15 yards added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
That's on the freshman, Jeremy Harris.
It's tough because he wanted to throw the swing to the back, and they peeled off in the pressure, and then he goes to slide. It's a late. It's so close.
It's not a lot on the hit.
No. And you don't know. I mean, that's tough. I get it.
Hey, look, given the rash of injuries for quarterbacks in the NFL, I'm ready to have it tackle football except for the quarterback.
Just don't touch him.
No, just two-hand touch.
Yeah.
We need the quarterbacks.
Oh, look at Reyna.
Reyna making guys miss in that one. He knew he didn't have a play. He's just getting rid of it.
Just avoiding the sack right there. He's done that
Bland there in coverage. But I'm actually not really trying to be funny when I say that, though. I really do feel like they have to find ways to keep the best quarterbacks on the field.
I agree. And I am obviously playing that position, and my brother's still playing that position. I'm all for that. But I also see the defensive side of it. It's difficult to pull off. I've just talked to too many of those guys. It's like, you guys, you can stay on your feet and get a first down. Like, I don't know if you're going to slide until right at the last second.
Reyna. And it was on target. Really put a lot of velocity on that throw, and Coleman couldn't come up with it.
It's a second pretty big drop by Coleman. And we talked about looking for a guy to step up and make some plays. Like, you got to have that guy that you can just count on in that intermediate area, and that's the second one he's dropped.
But that brings me to a point. There's something about the catchability of the throw, right? I mean, you can show off the arm strength, or that's what I loved about watching Joe Montana. And granted, he might not have had the biggest arm, but he always threw a ball that was very easy to catch.
Also known as a weak arm, Ari.
I'm just,
No,
hey, Joe, if you're watching, right. I did not say that.
You're absolutely. People are gonna kill me. You're absolutely right, though. You gotta have some personality on the throw, for sure.
Flag down, Reyna buying time, and step up, and that's going to be incomplete.
Good holding call here. We'll see. It's good pressure again.
Holding, number 79. Offense, that penalty is declined. Fourth down.
It's kind of an interesting spot on the field here. Because it's 4th and 10, I guess you go ahead and punt it.
Right.
If you don't have a punter who can really control it, you're only going to gain 21 yards here.
But we are team punters, so they might punt them back.
Okay, and they've got a great punter at QC.
We'll see. So the pressure, see? I mean, that's a great job. And you got no chance there. I used to tell my offensive linemen, go ahead and hold them. If they're going to hit me, just grab them, okay? Eliminate the hits. We'll take the 10-yard loss. We'll just go to the next play. Good defense.
Cusick, see if he can make it worth it. Looks pretty good right here. Ooh. I mean, that's like a soft sandwich in there.
Yeah,
well
that was
done.
Nice with the backspin. Wish I could do that from 50 out.
Ring of Honor, Wednesday and Sunday at 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. Don't forget the stadium is your home for Ring of Honor Wrestling. Check out the latest, the Ring of Honor Superstars, on all stadium platforms on Wednesday and Sundays at 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern. Stadium. Welcome to the game. All right, but this formula that I came up with, I'm not a rocket scientist, but Sac State is just hanging around, and they're putting themselves in a position to perhaps steal a victory.
Well, that's what we talked about in the first half, is if you can hang around as the underdog into the fourth quarter, pressure shifts to the favorite. And you're at home, yes, I get that, but the more they're there, it just takes one play. Kevin Thompson has shown the ability to throw the football down the field. It just takes one blown coverage, one missed assignment, one of these guys make a play, and you got a different ball game.
And look, there's the mental part of it. You can feel a bit snake bitten if you're Fresno State, the way the first two games have gone. Finding ways to win can be challenging when things aren't going your way.
Yep.
Dotson, again, impressive running between the tackles. Gain of 4, but a good run as Justin Rice makes yet another tackle.
There hasn't been a lot there for Dotson, but he's made some positive plays every time he's touched the football, so you can see why they keep going back to him.
So Rice now with 5 tackles in the game. Thompson's got a wide open receiver, and he's out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Parker Clayton makes the catch.
Fantastic play. That's what we saw from Jorge Reyna earlier in the game, when you have the inside receiver in the slot run a 4 or 5 yard out route, and the corner jumps the out route. You throw that ball right in the honey hole, right in the sweet spot in cover 2. And if you make a good throw like that, especially in the college, in the honey hole, right in the sweet spot in cover 2, and if you make a good throw like that, especially in the college game, the hashes are closer to the sidelines, you can drill that football in there if you got a quarterback with enough arm strength. That was a good throw. Good read.
First and 10. Blitz is coming. Thompson, that ball's out. Ball is out. And there's a scramble for it, I believe, Sac State. No, it's Fresno State comes up with it. I thought the offensive lineman had it, but Walker comes up with it. And that's a huge play by the defense.
Flags for sure. Ripped out of the offensive lineman's hands. That's good. Good pressure. They haven't pressured a lot. They kind of played coverage. They came after him right there, and they got to the quarterback. Great job getting the ball out when you get there. Sack and a fumble.
Another thing, if you're going to win and you're the underdog on the road, you can't have turnovers, and that's right. Turnovers are killer. Boy, it really looked like the offensive lineman was going to bounce on that thing.
Oh, man.
Brandon Weldon's going to be wondering, where'd the football go here? How did I lose it?
Sometimes when you're 300 and you land on it, it
squeezes out.
Yeah. Pop out the side. Yeah, good play by Fresno.
A great opportunity here for the Bulldogs to add to their 2-point lead.
Yeah, they're going to stay with the blitz.
They're coming, they pick it up. Reyna's throw. Looking for the tight end. Here, Jared Rice had kind of posted his guy up.
He that looked good right until it hit the ground, because they picked the pressure up well. Gave Barnes
gets his hand in there. Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah,
great timing.
Great play. Sac State trying to tighten up on defense.
Hey, they have been real good in the red zone defensively.
They've held them to field goals, these field goal opportunities.
Gain of 3 yards there. Now say the ball's out.
Wow, they got it back.
And they get the football back. Sac State. Isaiah Butler.
Fantastic play. I was just about to say that's as much as they've gotten on the ground on the inside run, 3 yards, and then the ball came out. Curious to see who popped it out or what happened there.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the first time they pushed the whole defensive front like 3 yards downfield.
Right. And just let's see if he ripped it out.
So number 1 comes in there, and that's who I think ultimately is going to get the credit for.
I think you're right. Great play. Fantastic effort.
That's Isaiah Butler. All right, just like that. Sac State ball again.
Good job, defense.
They're going to review it. Did you see anything?
I don't know. It was hard to see when it came out, so I don't know if they're going to see enough to give this ball back to Fresno State. This is a great effort, though. I mean, it's like you said, they got good push. Thought we could squeeze something out, put us in the third and manageable. Fresno State, and then the ball comes popping out. But like we talked about in the first half, rally to the football, get hats around the ball, good things happen. There are 5 or 6 guys in there on the tackle, a couple of them ripping on it.
But did you think that Rivers, his forward progress had stopped at that point?
Yeah, I've seen that happen, and that's almost just based on the officiating crew, and they're all different. Some of them blow it quick, some of them let it play. I was always the quarterback yelling, blow it. But why aren't we blowing the whistle? My running back stopped. They're yanking on the ball. They're punching at him. But, I mean, great effort by Sac State, keeping after it.
Well, this is a critical call here. I can't say we've seen anything to change the call. This may be our best view. I mean, it does appear the play should have been blown dead, but the ball is out.
Yeah, ball's out for sure. Yeah, that view is the best one. Hopefully they get that one. But the ball's definitely out. But you were right. I mean, he had his back turned to the defense, and he pretty much stopped his forward progress. So.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It's a fumble, first down.
Well, tremendous opportunity. You lose the football, you get it right back. The defense is doing a good job keeping you in this thing. Got to make a play or two on the offensive side.
This Sac State defense is going to make life pretty challenging for their opponents all season.
It's going to be difficult. Yeah, difficult for sure. Because they just keep the pressure on.
And, you know, what Troy Taylor told us, he's like, look, I don't do anything on the defensive side of the ball.
he's very honest about that.
Andy Thompson is completely in control of the defense. That pass a little bit behind. He had an open receiver there, Pierre Williams.
A few, the last couple, been a little inerrant for Kevin. Just wanted a couple of those back.
No, his completion percentage is now, it keeps coming down. It's just hovering right around 50%.
You got to hit those on the road. If you're going to win a game like this, you got to hit those throws.
They just rushed 4.
Oh, nice.
Thompson pump fakes, and then the ball is batted down at the line of scrimmage.
That was actually a nice play design. Just got batted down. They had we call it jerk route on the inside, and he won. He was open. Had some room to run, but great job on the defensive line to bat it down.
Yeah, McCoy does it again. He's done it twice tonight. And he really stayed with it. He reached out his arm one time and then did it a second time.
It's a nice play.
Well done. 3rd and 10.
All right, Bulldog fans, here they come. Help them out on 3rd and long. Give him some time to throw. Just got to make one big throw right here to get this drive back on track.
The shuffle pass and no place to go. There's again McCoy involved. The ball comes out late. They're going to rule that the runner was down.
I've been on Sac State's bandwagon a little bit for the offensive scheme, but right there I'd like to see your quarterback try and make a throw. I know he's missed a couple and you've had some balls batted down, but at some point, and maybe it's not there yet, but I'd like to see him try and force the ball down the field a little bit, make a play with the receivers.
I mean, on some level, you think they've got nothing to lose. Why not
just
be a little more aggressive?
Yeah, because he's got a big arm. He can make some throws. Just be a little bit more aggressive.
The Aussie just gets it off. But a pretty good punt.
Good punt in his
fair catch, at the 44-yard line. So we're looking for the moment in the game. And, you know, I mean, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be a guy making a play. It doesn't have to be on offense, defense, or special teams. In fact, our moment of the game, I've been led to believe, not a single player on the field had anything to do with it. Wait for this.
Yeah, okay.
It's our moment of the game.
Let's see it.
Uh-oh, the Bulldog blitz coming in.
Definitely not something I would attempt, so yeah, let's give it to them. Moment of the game.
I mean, wouldn't wouldn't consider. I mean,
Just
that's not
crazy.
That's just
Look at
nuts.
that accuracy.
Yeah, and then he just,
Right on the
yeah.
50. Impressive. America flying in.
I mean, she wasn't fooling around there. She just kind
That
of
is-
cruised in and said,
Yeah.
"I got this."
Do this every day.
Let's see, Danny, would you like to maybe do that for us?
Was that
next
Danny?
game?
That might have been
Oh, what-
Danny.
No,
Was it
I was
you?
I was
that you?
standing
Okay.
down here, and they
Check.
came onto the field so quickly. Yeah, absolutely not. Very cool to watch, however. Guys, I want to tell you a little story because I just found this so fascinating. When Coach Taylor first got this job, you know, when you get a new job, you got to hustle over and move to your new city. He was just coming off a bowl game. He called around to establish his staff, and they all had to move fairly quickly. I feel like most people don't always think about how the new coaching staff has to move their entire family to this new city. So Coach Taylor rented a 3-bedroom home for the coaches to stay in while they transitioned and waited for their families to join them. For about 3 months, anywhere from 6 to 8 coaches piled into this house. Air mattresses, playbooks, laundry, pizza, water bottles, everything all over the floor. Defensive coordinator Andy Thompson said they even had maybe like a couple plates, a fork or two. Coach Taylor said that it was no furniture. It looked like a shelter. At one point, Coach Thompson was sleeping in the kitchen and his head was right next to the stove. Guys, the defensive coordinator on the floor with his head near the stove. I mean, talk about forcing some immediate chemistry. In fact, Coach Thompson hadn't even met Coach Taylor in person by the time he was moving in with him. All his interviews were done over the phone. So all of a sudden they're roommates. Everybody obviously got to know each other pretty well. But I think it sounds like one giant sleepover, so it does kind of sound kind of fun. I would draw the line at the air mattresses, though. I need a bed.
Well, it depends how much you needed a job.
Yeah, I think that's
Fair.
If you needed a job, you might have been on an air mattress.
He did say, Coach Taylor did say he wanted to hire like-minded guys that didn't think of coaching as a grind, so he must have found the right ones.
I love that story when he shared it with us.
That's fantastic.
And Rain, and that's just through the outstretched arms. But it brings me to that, football coaching staffs are with their other coaches and the rest of the staff more than they are with their families. So that's a quick way to get real acquainted.
No
You're
doubt.
going to get to know those guys in a hurry.
I know a lot of coaches that had mattresses in their office. They just would sleep there.
I mean, it's more, you save time on going home to bed and coming back.
Right. When they're going to leave the office at midnight and come back in at 5, I mean, I guess you save some trips. But
I mean, are we going to see
Man.
you, becoming a college football
I
coach?
don't know if you could tell in my tone, Ari, with how I felt about that setup. I'm not going to be doing that anytime soon. My bed's really comfortable. Even though at this point I have.
Hey, you took a few hits. You sleep in as nice a bed as you want.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Third down. Reina completes it, but it's not going to be enough for the first down. Nice job by the Hornets getting out on the perimeter, bringing down Hoken.
Great job rallying to the ball. They've been covering down all night. Really no one open other than Hoken. And they make a good tackle short of the sticks.
All right, again, more time's gone by, and you're the favorite. You're at home, and you have to start feeling the pressure a little bit.
And the other thing, they've had the ball at midfield, I feel like, the entire game. I mean, they just haven't been able to do anything with it. And that's just, you're going to kick yourself if you go back and you end up losing this football game with all the opportunities that you've had. Sac State hasn't been super efficient on offense, but they've made enough plays and they've done enough conceptually to make you nervous at this point.
Cusick. Last time he had a perfect sandwich to about the 5.
I mean,
this one's even better. Wow.
Nails.
Down at the 1. He's a real weapon. All right. High school football. Friday night rivals. Friday at 8 p.m. Watch this great matchup. We're going to have Murfreesboro, Tennessee, with Blackman visiting Riverdale. Catch the nation's top recruits every week. That's next Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Stadium and watchstadium.com. Now, you were at a high school football game yourself last night.
I was.
How'd it go?
Unfortunately, we lost to another one of my former Bulldog teammates who's coaching, Vernon Fox, Faith Lutheran out in Las Vegas. Great football team. They got us in the last drive, Ari. The last drive.
Heartbreaker.
Yeah, it was. It was fun. It was a good game.
And it appears Thompson's changing the call. And they set up the screen. And boy, he just got out of there. All right, look, I don't care if the whole world agrees to only play the spread. I want you under center when you're backed up to your own one.
Hey, I was just about to say the same thing. I'm glad you feel that way because
I feel real strongly about it.
I really don't want to be 7 yards deep in the end zone taking the snap.
That's insane.
And then the screen in the end zone is a little bit disconcerting as well. That's a tough one. It's a tough spot. It's not easy to call plays down here, but you know what you can do? You can try to use a different cadence. Because if you lose anything, you're going to lose 6 inches. If you gain something, you'll gain 5 yards. Give you a little bit of breathing room. On the road, it's hard.
And they want to throw it, and the receiver was on a completely different route. Miscommunication.
But they had a run called, and he tried to throw something quick to the outside, but he, like you said, he wasn't on the same page. He was running the defender off, thought it was a run. Tough situation here on the road.
I mean, this is like my greatest pet peeve in the world. I realize everybody loves to be in the shotgun, but I sure don't like it in this situation.
I can't. I played football for a long time, and I can tell you maybe one time, I don't even know if I was, I mean, look, he's halfway in the end zone. Better hold up front. Can't even have a holding call here.
Thompson, the throw, and it's almost picked off. Bryant did a great job in coverage. He almost turned into the receiver there.
He did.
The wide receiver had to be the defensive back.
Good defense there by the offense. Saves an interception, but this is a tight one here.
How about this as a second plan to what they just did? 3 quarterback sneaks in a row to get to the 5 and then punt it away.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, our calls were double tight, and the run was straight ahead. It was a quarterback sneak if we're on the inside the 1, so I'm with you. You just got to give your punter some room here because now you go from a standard long snap to this is tight. This is a lot closer, and I'd be tempted to come after if I was Fresno.
Well, they get it off pretty easily.
Yeah, they kind of he bailed him out a little bit right there.
Oh, Rivers gets hit just as the ball gets there.
So they called it down.
All right, no turnover. All right, so great field position for Fresno State, but they have not taken advantage of having the great field position earlier. Yeah, that ball, he was on his back before the ball came out.
That's fantastic.
Meta wanted a fair catch this one.
My goodness. That's a great play right there. He's been playing his heart out. He ripped it out earlier. He's going after the football.
If you're just joining us, so glad you're with us. Ari Wolf, David Carr, Danny Kleppinger, our entire Stadium Network crew. Fresno State has missed 3 field goals, and they've also turned it over a couple times. This is why this is a 2-point game.
The pressure keeps coming.
And Reyna had to get rid of it before he wanted to. He gave the receiver any real area to come down with it as Pope was the intended target.
I just continue to tip my hat to the defensive side for Sac State because they're undermanned as far as matchups go on the outside. We've seen them get behind coverage if you're Fresno State, but they've kept the pressure up, and so Reyna hasn't been able to set his feet and really make an accurate throw. They just continue to keep coming after the quarterback. Here they come again.
It does seem, at least over the last hour, it seems the defense has been far more aggressive than the Sac State offense has been.
That's exactly right.
I mean, that pass is just low.
We're getting bailed out by those plays as well. Reyna wants that one back, for sure. But that's what happens. I mean, you get pressure constantly. Then when you don't have pressure, you're almost like, well, I got hit the last 5 times I've dropped back to throw, and even on the bubble screen out there, your mechanics are off just a little bit.
Hey, it's a human being, right? I mean,
exactly.
You feel that, and you get that, I got to go faster.
Yeah, it's hard to shut that off. And here they come again, loaded up. They're going to stay with it. They're going to bring it. They've given so many different looks.
Reyna's in trouble. Escapes some pressure. Looks downfield. Breaks another tackle. Looking for a block. There's a flag down in the secondary at the 22-yard line. As Reyna did an amazing job. It appears he has the first down. Where the flag is, who knows? Could be a defensive holding in that part of the field.
Yep.
A gain of 11.
It's usually about the place, but
During the run, Holding, number 34, defense. That 10-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. It's first down, Fresno State.
That goes against one of their captains, Marcus Bruce.
Reyna has done a great job. I mean, there's nowhere to step up there.
Great there job. We said that wasn't a hold, that was a tackle.
That was throwing down. They're not catching the ball today. Reyna, good job. Hidden yardage, huge first down.
Ran a real nice pocket, and that's almost picked off. But Perryman's made a bunch of really good plays from the safety position.
Great anticipation. Great anticipation here. Reyna knows where he wants to go, but they've seen that route 2 or 3 times now. They're not going to give it up again, but it looks like he got a penalty.
Penalty against Sac State.
Real opportunity on 1st and 5. A little bit of a shot and be creative here.
Trying to set up the screen to Rivers, and he had one man to beat, and the ball's out. And it's recovered momentarily, and I believe Fresno State holds on to it. Erickson, 44, came up there to make the play.
You want to be creative, but you don't want to lose 12 yards. I mean, that's tough. It's 1st and 5. Take a shot at the end zone, maybe, but well, I mean, no one expects a screen to lose that many yards and to get blown up in the backfield. But
I mean, they're doing what Fresno State's done, which is just get a lot of forced fumbles. I mean, Fresno State's been doing it all year. They forced 7 fumbles, recovered 5, and Sac State's getting the ball out tonight.
They're getting after it on defense. Here they come again.
And Reyna.
Careful.
And he goes down, sacked. Obina. It's the second one tonight.
They're doing a great job on the back end, mixing up coverage. It's not the same look. Different fronts up front, putting pressure, stunning, moving. Effort is great. Coverage on the back end's great. He has time this time. He actually picked it up.
He kind of ran into some of that pressure.
Looking to check it down, and when your check down's even covered, you know the defense has done a great job.
Well, does it affect play calling here, David, if you're thinking I don't want to attempt a field goal?
Well, that's what I'm just now thinking about, looking at where they're at on the 31, try to get maybe half of it and go for it. I don't know. I mean, definitely don't want to try a field goal from here at this point.
Reyna steps up, throws, it's caught. It's Wheatfall, and Wheatfall down at the 2-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal, and this guy has really emerged tonight as the go-to wide receiver.
Yeah, you're right. He's absolutely developing into that guy. They finally got coverage. They didn't come after him. Had plenty of time to throw the ball. Good, accurate throw.
Well, there's a lot of drama in the third quarter and 0 points. A lot of things happened.
It was intense.
Yes.
Sac State just kept coming, and I bet when they look at it tomorrow, they're going to look at that 3rd down play right there and say, you know what, we probably should have just kept coming.
They've been so aggressive, why not?
And then you weren't on the one play. And as we all know, prevent defense prevents you from winning a lot of times.
Well, it just sort of goes against what their attitude has been.
Really the whole game. They've just been relentless with the pressure, and I mean, why wouldn't you continue to do that? But they did not. They dropped into coverage, and Reyna showed good poise because he'd been getting, there's guys all over him. And to show that you got.
All right, 3 quarters
nice.
Complete. We've got 1 quarter left, and we'll step aside for a moment. Hear these messages from Stadium. We are back and set for what, based on the first 3 quarters, we're going to have a bunch of things happen in this fourth quarter. I don't know how many points it's going to translate into, but there's going to be stuff happening that's going to keep you on the edge of your seat.
No doubt. It's a good football game. Sac State, we knew coming in was a good football team. Offensively, they've been a little stagnant the second half. They were a little bit more successful. But now Fresno State right there on the doorstep, trying to extend this lead a little bit.
All right, I got to give a little love right now because you're here at your alma mater. This place is real close to you. I didn't go to the University of Wisconsin. I grew up in Madison because my mom and stepdad professors there. When we were kids, beating Michigan didn't happen, like ever. And this is 5 straight times Michigan's come to Madison and gone home a loser. I'd just like to say, have a very pleasant trip back to Ann Arbor. It was nice having you in Madison. Sorry, I just had to get that in. It feels good.
You got the mic. Go for it, man. That was a great win. They're back. How about that back? Oh, my goodness.
Jonathan Taylor looked
He's
awesome
fantastic.
Today.
Running hard. And Michigan, man, Harbaugh, good football coach, but I feel like they've gotten a little bit of an identity crisis going on because he's a prototypical pro-style guy, and they're kind of spreading it out a little bit.
First and goal. Hogan gets in for the touchdown.
It's old school football, straight ahead.
Hogan's got 2 touchdowns tonight, and that stretches the lead to 20-12.
Good job. Punch it in straight ahead. Hogan, physical. He was physical on that first touchdown he had. Give it to him again. They do a good job of faking the play they scored on earlier with Rivers, and then they give it straight ahead. Good play.
Maybe this could give Silva a little bit of confidence. Just knock through an extra point.
Just see one go through the uprights here.
Oh, goodness gracious. Wow.
Oh, wow.
All right, so that keeps it a one-score game. I mean, someone's going to need to give him a hug.
Man, there's not going to be many hugs there. He's looking somebody, no.
Oh, this time it was Miller.
They swapped him out.
They swapped him out. Okay. And they must be like, wow, we just can't get any favors from the team.
That's rough. Well, I mean, that's got to weigh on you. I mean, you don't want the extra. Look at Jeff. He's like, okay, now what do we do? Now, if we score again, I don't know.
2-point conversion time. I think that's a real clear decision at this point. Now, keep in mind, on the other hand, on the other side, they haven't gotten a conversion either. They had their first extra point blocked, and they couldn't convert the 2-point conversion.
Hey, can I just be the first laces out a little bit? I mean, the laces were straight back. What are we doing, Marino? My goodness.
Hey,
help a brother out.
Where's Ace Ventura when you need him, right? Come on,
man out.
people.
I mean, it was sabotage. All right. Settle in. We're up 8. You guys will be all right. Sac State, though, real chance.
Yeah, but the real play there was the 29-yard completion on 3rd and 24.
Okay. Yep.
That was the play.
It was. And that was the one time, right, that we've seen him all half not be aggressive on the defensive side.
All right, now, Fuller, your only job is to not kick this out of bounds. There you go.
There you go. There.
Boom.
That would have went through. All right, guys.
All right, now I'm curious to see if Troy Taylor takes the training wheels off and says, let's just go for it, right? You're down 8 as we take a look at the special teams woes in the game for the Bulldogs.
It's a kicking game. Kicking game's tough because as an offense, you say, man, we should have scored touchdowns. We can't put them in that situation, and that's what they're going to say after the game. We can't put them in that situation. But you know what? You got to make your kicks. That's what you do. And it's the confidence. And you see it all the time, all over the league, NFL, college.
Can you imagine the backup kicker comes in and then he can't make it? He must be sick to himself.
Yeah, and he's just trying to come in and provide a little bit of stabilization for your team, and he doinks it.
Thompson just gets rid of it, and it's caught in some space. And it's Gable.
There's the one play.
And Gable gets inside the 40. Little Isaiah Gable, all 5'4" and 150 pounds
right there. Gable just disappearing into the night. His speed on the perimeter. Great job up the sideline. That's a fantastic play. It almost didn't happen. He had pressure on him, Kevin Thompson, in the backfield. Good job just getting that ball out.
36 yards on the play. Thompson.
Yep, got him.
The throw. And Williams has it at the 30.
Things are starting to open up a little bit down the field.
It has a different look, this offense, on this series.
It does. Going to the line, spread them out a little bit. Create some space for your receivers. And Fresno's kind of a little bit on their heels. They're just kind of lining up and playing coverage. Makes it a little bit easier for your quarterback.
Second short. We'll see if they get aggressive. And they do want to throw it on second short. Thompson to check it down. Hutchinson, I believe, has just enough for a first down. Alex Cruz with the tackle.
That ended up playing coverage there, dropping 8. Find your check down, pick up the first down. See if they tighten up on defense a little bit as they cross the 30. It's usually when defensive coordinators try to come after you a little bit, knock you out of field goal range, but we'll see.
Well, based on conversions, they may think they need 2 scores because nobody can convert tonight.
That's a good point. Tons of pressure.
And Thompson just gets rid of it.
Oh.
Walker was bringing the pressure.
Yeah, he had pressure. Might have had his first read there, but didn't really have a lot of time to decipher what was going on. Good job by Fresno State, like we thought. We come after them when they cross the 30. See what they do again. You got 2nd and long. See if they try and come after him again.
I'd like to see them get the ball into Dotson's hand into some space. He's been a hard guy to bring down.
That's a good point.
But it's Perkinson's the tailback, and Thompson's going to keep it. And a good decision. Brought down inside the 22-yard line.
They attacked the perimeter pretty good right there. I mean, a lot of times the quarterback's just looking to pitch that. All right, coach, you called speed option. I'm just going to run as far as I can and flip it to our back. But Kevin's shown that he can really scoot, getting around the defense.
Gain of 6 there for Thompson.
34.
I got a feeling this 4-down territory.
I would agree with you. Really, anything's on the table here offensively.
And they're playing off coverage on the slot receiver, Gable.
Run to the weak side wouldn't be bad here. They have the numbers. Let's see what they decide to do.
Thompson to his right, and that's caught right at the sticks. That is well done.
That was good. Multiple options. Had the weak side run that would have cut back nicely and probably picked the first down up. Then they had off coverage outside, so nice little RPO run pass option. The zone run might have been nice, but then he whips it out there on the hitch. You only needed 4. Pick up a first down. Good play.
I love it when the receivers run the right distance there. So give credit to Isaiah Bailey. Knew where he needed to be.
A lot of receivers sometimes panic in that situation. They'll get to 4 yards, and then you got a decision to make.
Thompson.
He's got him.
To the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Hornets. Isaiah Bailey gets the touchdown.
Fantastic play design. That was a great job. Fake the zone run. Come out the other side, and that was a backside route on a movement play to your right. I mean, that's hard to get to. As a quarterback, that's just great understanding of the offense, good field vision. Everything's to the right. Sets up in the pocket and just a dart back across the field. Fantastic play by Kevin Thompson.
All right, Coach Carr, we've got a 2-point conversion coming up here. What are you thinking here?
Well, we've seen a lot of creativity, so really anything's on the table. I mean, when they go out and do the extra point, they've been in a swinging gate type look. They've put a lot of pressure on the defense to just align properly, so I would expect something along those lines. If they don't test them formationally, then I would expect a lot of what we saw on 3rd down with that weak side zone run coupled with a throw, so an RPO type action. Something along those lines would probably be what Troy would be looking for. Let's see what they do.
Well, Thompson's got it back. You can tell he's playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Great drive. After that big throw out to the perimeter where he was under pressure, that gave him a little bit of a spark. Spread it out a little bit right here. See if you can get a favorable box to run the football into. If they show pressure, you throw it.
All kinds of movement.
Had to be a fault. Yeah, it definitely came across, I think. That's what we call it on.
Offside, number 98. Defense, unabated to the quarterback, half the distance.
All right, here's my number 1 question pops in my mind. You now go to the quarterback sneak when you got a quarterback as athletic as Thompson.
Yeah, either a quarterback sneak, it might be a little bit far for that, but you can definitely utilize him in the run game. So if you decide to run the football here, your quarterback is now a viable option from 1 yard out. See what Coach Taylor wants to do as they check the sideline. They got single coverage so far on the outside, but see how it shapes up.
Run the option. Perkinson is in. Game tied at 20. Wow.
Fantastic play. Utilize your quarterback's ability to run the football. They already showed that he can do that. And then pitch it to your big back and let him finish downhill. Great play.
No matter what happens, I'm real impressed with this Sacramento State football team.
They've done a great job. I mean, they just put so much pressure on you because there's so many things available to them. With Kevin's ability to run the football, I mean, that just equals the playing field. So many times when we'd play quarterback and sit in quarterback rooms, like we talked about with Eli Manning, we were always trying to figure out how to get that 11th guy out of there, because as soon as the quarterback hands the ball off, we had the best seat in the house. We're just watching the running backs. But if he becomes part of the running game, it's just a huge advantage.
And there we saw the aggressiveness the whole drive through. They got after it.
They did. The aggressiveness was nice. Yeah, I think as we look at this play from Kevin, you get nice action. Great job getting back across to the other side of the field. Really his fourth read. I mean, really, when you run a boot action like that, you got a play going in the flat. You got someone on the corner route. You got an intermediate route coming across in your vision, and that outside receiver, right at the line of scrimmage, he had his hand up, but a lot of times you don't see him. So for Kevin to get all the way back there just shows his understanding of this offense. He's played a lot of football, but man, he's really flourishing in Troy Taylor's offense. This is fun to watch.
All right, let's flip to the other side. Fresno State. I'm sure that they expected, even if they heard everything the coach was saying, you got to think they were at home. They thought that they would be in control of this game at this point.
Yeah.
They're in a tie ball game, 12 minutes to go. What do you think the messaging is amongst the players on the sideline?
You just got to continue to do what you've done well all game. The things that you have done well is get the ball to your fast guys on the perimeter. Okay, at this point in the game, it might be time to just abandon the inside zone run. I know they've wanted to do it and they've wanted to stick with it, but you haven't had success, and what that's ended up putting you in is second and long. So if you can get the ball outside, do it. You have guys on the outside that can make plays. They've gotten behind coverage. So feel confident in that. Jorge's made good reads. You got to trust your quarterback at some time. At this point in the game, it's time for Jorge to go out and make a couple throws. And he can do it. He's fully capable, and those guys are capable on the outside of making some catches. Protect up front. That's the key. Protecting up front if you're going to take some shots.
And field position will be interesting here because Fresno State has had incredible field position the entire second half. And here, following the kickoff, depending on the kind of return, we're going to see have that change the play calling at all depending on where they end up, because they have had the ball near midfield throughout the second half.
And does Sac State continue to stay aggressive? The one time they weren't, they picked up a big third down, and that led to points. So do they continue to come out here and get after Jorge and put some pressure on and make those throws a little bit tougher?
Medeiros to kick it off. A pretty good return out to the 26-yard line. All right, let's check out our fan of the game. I feel like this is your home building. I'm sure this is your choice, right?
Might have a family member in these pictures. Let's see. All right, I like the mask. Good flag. Had one of those hanging up in my dorm room. Not the same one, but similar. All right, kids, get after it. What do you got? A little face paint? A little gum? All right, oh, maybe hit my brother in the head. I'm sorry. It's cool. It's all good.
Those are our fans, plural.
Love it.
Fans of the game. All right, 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Poke gets the ball carrier, and he's going to keep pushing that pile across the 40-yard line.
And it's just how it works. You know, all right, I say abandon the inside zone run, and what do? They run it inside from 12. Straight ahead. Love it. I love
Hogan's having a great football game. I love
really
getting him more touches there. Out on the perimeter.
Good cut. Rally to the ball, though. Done a good job.
Hurt.
Done a good
Jalen
job.
Cropper, the freshman, there with the catch.
It appears that they have an advantage on the outside, but Sac State's done a good job fighting through blocks. A lot of corners aren't willing to do that, but they've shown some real ability and some toughness to go out there and make those plays. See what Sac State decides to do on defense. Looks like they're just going to play coverage here.
Reyna with time.
Oh, he's got
A lot of room to run. And he does this prudent thing and steps out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
It's good coverage down the field. The pressure didn't get there. 4-man rush. They tried to move up front. They had a little stunt game on, but Fresno State stones it. Great job. Plenty of room to move, pick up the first down, get out of bounds, be smart, be available for your team. Don't take any hits. Good job.
14-yard run. Stats a little misleading running because he's been sacked a few times. So he's got 11 carries for 36 yards. Interesting that Hokett has been the featured back. And look at him go, Josh Hokett.
It is. I mean, the fact that he's in there just pounding it straight ahead. Love his running style. They've changed it a little bit up with the gap scheme and not just the straight zone. They've pulled some guys, tried to create some mismatches and some gap assignments. Good job.
Well, just to emphasize what we're talking about, Hokett came in with 1 carry. He's got 5 in the game. So clearly they've seen something in game that they like what he's giving them. And again, he's running, spins out of some trouble and gets it close to the 30-yard line.
I don't know a lot of fullbacks in the NFL that run like that, Ari. I don't see. I mean, that's
well, they often don't get that many touches. Right?
They don't get it. Yeah, that's
you
true.
tell me the
That's
last time
point.
a fullback in the NFL had 6 carries.
Was it since Mike Allstott? Maybe?
Yeah, oh, he definitely.
John Gruden back in the day. Yeah, that looks good. You get that going, that tends to open things up because now you got to force the defense's hand. You might have to come after him a little bit, but looks like they're going to continue to play coverage here, expecting a shot down the field.
They hand it off in space, and a nifty spin move is going to bring up 3rd and short. As Cropper again showing off that he's got some talent. 5-yard gain there for number 5.
No, I mean sometimes it counts as a run, but if they flip it into pass, that's been their most effective run. Is that on the perimeter? And Rivers took a pop right there for trying to look out for his buddy, but Sac State is staying physical. Physical will always lead to good things.
Hokett's back in there to run it, I believe, on 3rd and short. Oh no, they're going to the play action, but they give it to the outside of the tight end, Rodriguez, and he gets the first down.
I know we mentioned Gruden, but that was a version of Spider 2Y Banana, most famous play in his playbook. Just a good job. Every team runs it. You get the run game going a little bit. Reverse out, fake the ball to Hokett, who's run well. You can't help but step up. And you leave the back arrow tight end out in the flat wide open.
Nice block there by Hokett.
Run game has opened up. He's opened up a couple things now, so Sac State a little bit on their heels, but they're coming.
Pope with the catch. And a nice tackle in the open field. Again, it's Perryman.
Great tackle.
I believe Perryman's now double-digit tackles. I think that was
Bubble
number
screens
10.
they've been there. They've been the favorable looks to throw these screens. There's one guy to beat. Just they've been better. They've been better tackling.
Hokett, he falls forward. There is a flag down. So every drive in the second half but one, Fresno State has been in Sac State territory.
Illegal substitution, number 95. Defense, 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Well, just having Hokett on the field right now is an issue for Sac State because the straight ahead run has been there, and that's opened up a lot more things, and they've been able to put together a nice drive. Second and short here, you got everything available.
And Hokett able to maintain his balance, pick up the first down.
Nice hard run, break a tackle, pick up a first down. Putting some life in this offense. The gap scheme has really been there, just kind of coming down on all these stunts and pulling guys around, kind of creating your own running lanes. Has been a nice change up to the zone run with Fresno State. Wash all that mess down. Physical run.
Hokett gets it to the 7. Now just bringing this up. I'm not trying to jinx anybody, but given the struggles in the kicking game, it feels like wherever we get to, it's 4-down territory.
It's a real question. And you would think where you're sitting now, you would try the field goal. You would think. And I almost think that you have to do that at this point, because if you don't make it, what are you telling them the rest of the year? I mean, it's a difficult situation. I would be tempted to go for it. I agree with you. But you almost have to kick it here. You don't make it.
Reyna to the end zone, trying to solve it with one play. Does he hold on? Yes! Touchdown Bulldogs.
Solve the kicking issues with touchdown passes.
Darian Grimm gets the score.
Great job, single coverage. Give him a shot. Good throw. Identified the coverage, saw the one-on-one.
That's a heck of a catch.
That's a great catch. Getting his feet down. Nice job.
The senior from Stockton, California.
Great play.
The go-ahead score.
He's fired up, and he should be.
And here comes what's been an adventure, the extra point try. And I noticed that it's Silva back out there. So they gave the backup kicker one chance. Fuller, he
got
missed.
one shot, buddy. Go. Nope. Okay. And this isn't helping. I feel like the referees aren't helping here. You can't delay it this long when my man's been struggling. Just let him kick it.
Well, I think what they're waiting with, I feel like they look at every score to make sure that.
That's a good point. Just looking out for you, Silva.
I'll tell them after the game that you were looking out for.
Help you out, buddy. Let him kick it. Hurry.
It's a tiny thing. They got to confirm the score first.
It's like the refs are freezing the kickers now. Here we go. Yeah, we're good. Touchdown. All right, buddy. Come on. It's like for you guys at home, a 3-foot putt, like 3-foot putt. We miss a couple 3-footers.
Look at that.
Ah, it's easy.
Boom.
That's the loudest the crowd's been all night.
How about this drive? 11 plays. They go 74 yards, 5 minutes and 17 seconds. I call that a heck of a response from the Bulldogs.
That's a fantastic response. And they got going what they've wanted to get going from the beginning, the inside run. And it took Hokett coming in, the fullback, the big physical guy, to just run downhill, break a couple tackles. Got that going, opened up things on the outside. Great drive by them.
Really
now Sac
nice.
State's got to answer.
Reyna's numbers on the night just keep getting better. 25 of 38, 291 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no turnovers.
Yeah, and the thing that you don't hear in those stats, and it often happens, is that a couple times that he's tucked it with pressure around him and picked up big first downs. That's been fantastic. We knew he had that. He's utilized it when he's had to, but he's also made great decisions throwing the football. It hasn't been there a lot of times. He's checked it down, gotten through progressions. Done a good job.
All right, now, you may not know about all the talents of Danny Kluppinger, but some people believe that she could kick in a game. Danny, do you have more on that?
I don't have more other than I am warmed up. I've been walking down across this field, all game long. And if they need a sub for kicker, I am available. I can kick field goals. I think we have proof.
What do you consider your range?
My furthest is 30.
Okay.
Which is pretty decent.
That's plenty.
I think that they might need me. I do have a red jersey. Stony Brook was red.
Wow.
No, but
do you have any eligibility left is the question.
No.
Get in there.
Solid point.
That was a doink.
I do not have any eligibility.
Now, have you attempted a field goal with any pressure coming?
I have not, but
that was
Ari,
pressure.
I
pressure
thrive under pressure.
Of course
you thrive. Yeah, of course.
I mean, the game's on the line.
That.
No, but that was basketball. I know that you want to hit that
exactly.
knockdown three.
I had the 3-point shot at the buzzer.
Good.
That was me. So of course I could kick a field goal.
Okay, but this actually brings me to something that if you lived with my wife, you'd know that I bring this up every week. Why is college kicking purposefully more difficult than pro kicking? Because in the pros, you kick it straight, it goes in.
Right.
But it's wider in college. Why is it hard? You only have to have 1 foot down on reception. Why do they make it harder on kickers in college?
That's a fantastic point. And I've often thought about that, especially as you get closer, the angle becomes even more
it's way harder.
Difficult.
You got a 19-yard field goal from
like one.
I just don't think it's fair to the kickers. People wonder why college kicking is so hard. Well, because it's harder than the NFL.
Let's just have a kicking hash.
I don't know
what
you said, sorry.
It's okay. Ari's got it all figured out.
Does that go okay? Okay.
Tune in next Saturday at 3:30. Princeton visits Bucknell. You can catch that game on Stadium, the only 24/7 network available on both television and digital devices without a cable subscription. Stadium, welcome to the game. I know Princeton had a heck of a year last year. I don't know how well they're doing this year, but last year I believe they went undefeated.
Fantastic. They're good at everything.
All right, well, Sac State's responded every time they've needed to. Down 7, plenty of time, 6:41 to go in the fourth.
Well, we saw this formation earlier. They tried to sneak the running back down the middle of the field. I think he's going again. They grabbed him.
Thompson's got pressure coming, and he goes down. Isaiah Johnson, 18, will get credit for the sack. A loss of 7.
Saw that formation earlier, just like we said. Tried to sneak the back down the middle of the field, but defense does a great job of just grabbing onto him. He can't get through. That's where they're trying to go. Split safety look, steal a throw down the middle. It's good design. It's a good thought. They've just seen it twice now. Fresno State, good job.
Thompson. Well, he had a receiver open, just not enough on the throw.
Just had to throw it a little bit sooner than he wanted to. He's giving the crazy eyes out there to the receiver. I get it. You just feel like you're not on the same page. It's not a good feeling, but he had a little pressure, had to throw a little bit sooner than he wanted to. And the receiver might have been a little deep on his route. That's all it takes to be off.
On the night, they are 4 for 12 on third down. This is third and long, 3rd and 17. No blitz. Thompson's going to step up. He's going to throw. And is that caught by Gable? They're saying no, incomplete.
Fantastic effort by Gable.
They all look like they're not sure what they're about to do here.
It looks like
it's
they're
4th down. You got to punt it here.
Yeah, you got to punt it. I agree.
You're not going for it on 4th and 17.
3 timeouts, Troy Taylor.
Oh, are they going to take another look?
Okay, there we go. I was nervous.
It looked like there wasn't any sense of urgency.
We're going to punt this, guys. All right. Long game. Defense is playing good. Well, they played coverage, and they did a good job dropping out, covering things up initially. Got a good jam on the receivers.
I will tell you this, Gable didn't make an impression on me that he caught it. He didn't get up and do anything like look at me, I caught it.
Right. He also might have landed on his face, so
might not know where he was
clear
for
the cobwebs a little bit. It's a good job working to get open. Kevin finding him. A little bit better throw would have helped, but
I don't know if we can get another look at it because from our vantage point, I couldn't tell at all whether he trapped it or caught it.
Hard to see.
He might have caught that ball.
Might have caught that. You get an angle definitive enough to switch it.
Arms are underneath the ball, but I don't know if there's enough to change.
Right.
If it was called a catch, it stays a catch. If it was
right.
called incomplete, it stays incomplete.
I agree.
But just know, it's our first time working together. I'm usually wrong. So whatever side I take the other side.
Okay.
And I'll be like, oh, yeah, well, Mari said it. Then definitely take the other side.
That's definitely a catch then. Let's see what happens.
It was a great effort.
It was a great effort.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Incomplete pass, 4th down.
Just to remind everyone the terminology, if he would have said confirmed, then they really knew. Here they're just saying they don't have enough to overturn it.
Yeah, because it's hard to see. Is his arm under it? Does he have it? Does it come out right there? I don't know. He's hanging on to it. Maybe it hit the ground. That doesn't matter. Nah, it's just can't confirm it.
He did a pretty good job of sort of staying over it, so no one could really tell what was going on over there.
He did. Good job. Good effort. A little bit better throw chance. You got to play some defense now. You got 3 timeouts.
Stankowski, the punt, his best punt, fair catch at the 45-yard line by Ronnie Rivers, a 37-yard punt.
Field position again.
Well, one guy I know who's happy about having the lead instead of being down a score is Mr. Reyna. He doesn't have to worry, hey, we're down a score and I got to come down here and work some magic.
No doubt. In the last drive, the run game was there. That's so huge when you're in this situation. What we like to call the 4-minute offense. Still aggressive, But the run game being there is such a huge advantage.
You can see yourself live right now on the Watt Stadium's Facebook page. We're looking for the most loyal fans in college football. Show your team spirit by using the hashtag SacState, SACST, verse FS. Like Stadium on Facebook for all the latest conference news and highlights. And let's go to Danny.
Well, Ari, I'm glad you set that up because this is our final social media update for the game because it's winding down here and we've got some loyal fans that you just pointed out that have been posting photos. Blue Dragon Flag 45 on his front porch, an American flag flying. He is from East Texas cheering on Fresno State. And then Stacy Chills. They're rooting for the Hornets in SoCal. Very cute picture of her and her daughter. Maybe you guys can send them some juju to come back from this deficit. And then Mommy and Mascara. First of all, what an Instagram name. That's awesome. Husband is playing catch with their kids with the game on their TV. Guys, we appreciate you watching. I appreciate all of our viewers interacting with us throughout the evening and posting those photos. So many to look at. I hope you had fun checking yourself out on this broadcast, and I hope you stick with us for the rest of this one because we've got a good game here, guys.
A great game, and I really liked how the kids were taking a picture of the parents sitting down, taking a picture of himself watching the game. That was something.
That's great.
Right, rush yards by half. Well, just 11 in the first half, but 121. And give a lot of that credit. Josh Hokett seemed to change the attitude of the running game.
Yeah, he did. And the inside zone opened up. Some of the gap schemes where you just kind of wash all those stunts down. Just kind of take them and just push them to the side, bring some guys around, knock some of those guys out, create some creases, and then you got a big, heavy back that can get his shoulder pads down. That was a nice drive the last time, and Hokett's walking back out there because they want some more of that.
Yeah, Hokett, you could make a strong case, has been their offensive MVP. He leads them in rushing, 8 carries, 43 yards, and a touchdown. And he's also chipped in 3 catches for 22 yards and a touchdown. So responsible for 2 of the touchdowns tonight for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, come out in a heavy set as well. Coming straight at you.
And it is Hokett. And Hokett, boy, he just pushes that pile along with the big uglies up front. Turns into a 9-yard gain, and first contact was probably a 3-yard.
Great job by the leg drive and the offensive line. And who needs an early whistle? What forward progress? Keep going, buddy.
Well, in this case, he really was. He was never stopped, right?
No, he absolutely was, and that's a great job by him. And that's what he's brought even since he came in the last drive and really started running physically downhill. I mean, that's a little bit deflating if you're Sac State. You got him at 3 yards. He ends up getting 9. That's tough.
Hokett was an All-American wrestler last year.
Let's come after him a little bit. Need some extra bodies down there.
It's Hokett again, but a flag comes in, and this is a hold. This is just be a drive killer for the Bulldogs.
And it's tough to overcome.
Holding number 52. Offense, 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
Muti guilty there. He's a guy they lean on a lot. They say he is their true alpha on the offensive line.
Holding such a huge penalty. I was having a conversation with one of our ex-quarterback analysts over at the NFL Network the other day, and we thought that holding might, if you could turn it into a spot foul and a loss of down, how would you feel about that? What if that was a?
You think people would stop holding? Is that what you think would happen?
I think there probably would be more, but I mean, so just say that was now it's 3rd and 1. Is that?
Oh, I see what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, I got you. But the loss of down.
Is it steep enough a penalty? I don't think it is because 10 yards is huge.
Huge. I'm okay
penalty
with making it a 5-yard penalty.
Okay, so that would be better. I would like that because 10 is so huge.
And look, the amount of holding calls being called in the NFL right now, it's making it hard to watch.
That's exactly why
we're here. Comes another fluke.
See, I think we've jinxed it now.
Yeah, but that Thursday night game was really hard.
It was hard. It was. Tom Brady stopped.
Yeah,
he stopped watching. He tweeted
it
out.
He doesn't get involved in that kind of stuff. So when
Personal foul, hands to the face. Number 95, defense, 15-yard penalty.
Okay.
Automatic first down.
Just kidding. Don't worry about it. We're just joking.
Cote is guilty.
But I like the 5-yard thing. I think that would be better. I mean, because honestly, you hear all the time, holding happens on every play. It does.
Yeah.
So if you're going to call it, it's such a huge penalty. Okay. All right. I mean, hands go up in the face a lot too, and that's 15. So we can debate the whole.
That could be brought down to 10.
Let's just bring them all down. Okay. Chill out, guys. Just relax.
And I'd like shorter conferences on the field. That would be possible. We're making orders here.
I'm going to start.
This is what I'd like.
Oh, action.
Reyna. It's like a handoff. Completes it. That's easy. And it's Rodriguez inside the 20.
It's such a good feeling as a quarterback. You've been pounding the football. You come out on the fake, and there's no one out there except you and your tight end. And you're just, I mean, that's a fantastic feeling. Because it's stealing. Edge is wide open because they're selling out to the run. Good accurate throw. Easy football.
And they've got to feel like this is almost the goal line because they need to force him into a longish field goal attempt and hope that they miss.
No, that's exactly right.
I mean, they don't have much room to work with.
Yeah, exactly. Because at this point, you still can get the ball back in a one-score game. You'd have to feel that way for Sac State. Just keep them out of the end zone.
They're bringing everybody. And Hokit is running over people and brought down inside the 15 at the 14.
He's going to quickly become a fan favorite if he is not already. Love watching him finish runs. I mean, there's yards there, but that's a 2-yard gain. That should have been a 2-yard gain, but physical football puts you to 2nd and 5. It's a great job. I like that kid.
I'm going to be real curious to see if he does, in fact, get drafted or gets a good chance with the team as an undrafted guy.
A guy like that gets a shot. He's going to be in a camp somewhere, and depending on the scheme that he's in, make an impact. You got a chance.
It's Hokit again. And it's Hokit, and he'll take it for the touchdown. 14-yard touchdown for Hokit, his 3rd touchdown of the night.
Fantastic effort. Just exactly what we've seen really the whole game when he's had the football in his hands. He's going to punish you. You come up and try and tackle him, he's going to give you shoulder pads and knees. He's like a bowling ball of butcher knives. Can you imagine that? Try to tackle a bowling ball of butcher knives.
It sounds terrifying.
It'd be
sounds
really
sounds
scary.
like a horror movie waiting to happen.
I'm terrified. I'm glad I don't play defense. That was a great run.
That guy's a heck of a football player.
No, he really is. That's all kidding aside. That's a great run. Good leg drive. I mean, he's got pad level. I really like that. He's opened up this running game on the inside.
I love the mentality. Just keep pounding it with Hokit, and then it's set up.
Yeah, the play action was great.
Easy play action.
Yep.
Great drive. And the extra point is good, which is kind of breaking news tonight.
We almost didn't even talk about it. It just happened.
All right, 2:17 to go in a 2-score game. And that was a nice drive. 5 plays, 55 yards. Take just about 3.5 minutes off the clock. Well, all right, so if we're just talking player of the game, just the two of us, I don't know that our votes count.
Okay.
Reyna, 26 of 39, 312 yards and 2 touchdowns, and most importantly, 0 turnovers. Hokit's run it for 72 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he also has 3 catches for 22 yards and a touchdown. Who's your guy?
I mean, it's hard not to give it to Hokit.
Right?
Reyna's done a great job, but I almost feel like it's a baseball scenario where, okay, let's give Reyna the win, and we'll give Hokit the save. He kind of came in and he closed the football game out to this point, and he's really brought the run game to life. Before that, they were having to use the perimeter to get anything going. Hokit's been fantastic. Reyna's done a good job, though. If you're a Bulldog fan, you got to be excited about what you saw. Got through his progressions, did a good job not panicking. Some of the accuracy waned a little bit with pressure, but that's natural for everyone. That's going to happen. You got guys all over you, but he also made some great plays with his feet still when he had to. Got some big first downs, so good job by both those guys.
And I think, I'm not sure, I mean, you're the quarterback, but I think the most important step for a quarterback is wins as a starter.
As
he's going to get his first win.
I mean, Tom Brady seems to be the guy, right? And he's won a lot of football games, so keep doing that.
But I feel like Hokit changed the attitude of the offense.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. He came in and he brought the inside run game back. I mean, that was really non-existent. And they said, even when they talked to us with Jeff, we want to keep it going, And they did. And then they got Hokit in there, and he ran physical. I really like what I saw out of that guy. And then the play action opens up, and like I said, you get out there on the perimeter. You're in that 4-minute offense. You're trying to run the game out. It's a great feeling. Deflating as a defense. It's played well. I mean, Sac State, they've given up 34 points, but they've played fantastic.
Yeah, I think
Coach Taylor's got a good football team.
He's got a really good football team. And I want to remind everybody, they only won 2 games last year. He's come in, and I'm calling it doing the Tedford, where you take a team that has not been winning at all, and then you just completely flip the script, and all of a sudden you got guys believing.
So we got the Bulldog sweep, and we got doing the Tedford, and that's going to catch on.
Doing the Tedford.
It's going to be nationwide. That's exactly right. I think talking to Troy Taylor, I was impressed. Watching film before this game, I was impressed. This game, I like what he's doing. He's got a good quarterback, good defense. They're going to win a lot of football games this year. They still might win this one. You never know. College football's crazy.
We got a flag late on the play, so let them sort it out. So, again, this is called doing the Tedford, just so everyone is clear. Hold on, I'm going to go. Stadium Plus brings you tonight's player of the game. No surprise.
All right, they gave it to Hogan.
Okay.
I'm with that.
I think you might have influenced it. I didn't get like an official ballot. I think that you had a real impact there.
I feel like the graphic was already made, but it's fine. I'll take it.
Amanda knows television. Okay, so Hokett is our player of the game and well-deserved 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
So now, again, I want to define what doing the Tedford is. This is me. This is I called it. This is my phrase.
Yes.
Doing the Tedford is the following: being the first team in NCAA history to have back-to-back double-digit win seasons after a double-digit losing season.
Oh, I like that.
No one's ever done that before.
And they still have a chance. They still have a chance to do that. That'd be fantastic.
No, they did it. I mean,
oh, well, they did.
Done it, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, this is year 3. They had won one game, and he won double digits. That's called doing the Tedford.
Doing the Tedford.
Now, if another team does it and someone says that's called doing the Tedford, I'm going to retire on the spot. Be like, we got some real influence here.
Well, anytime anyone says it now, you'll get royalties from it.
It's called doing the Tedford.
Check in the mail. Yeah. Coach Taylor might have a chance to do that. I wonder what they're.
Yeah, but they only lost 9 games.
Oh my! Come on, guys.
Yeah, he needed one more loss.
Gotta be worse.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, that's.
They cannot do the Tedford.
Then I don't know if that's ever going to happen again. Then maybe it will.
I mean, it's a staggering thing to think.
It really is. That's kind of crazy.
Your team wins one game, and then you come back the next year and you win 11, and the next year you win 12.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Oh, that's insane.
That's really good.
With a lot of the same players.
Right. Yeah, that's the hard part. Like, it's like usually when a guy takes over a program, he's like, I got to get my guys in.
Right.
It's a 5-year plan. We'll recruit. I mean, you're just lying to people. Now we know. Doing the Tedford. All right. Because of that, every other college program out there, if you're watching and your coach comes in there with his 5-year plan, you say no.
And also make sure to tell the guys the year before, if you've got 9 losses, just lay down the last one and you got no chance.
Otherwise, Ari's plan is completely ruined. Oh,
Thompson looking for
Find
Gable.
It.
Oh,
Gable. That's tough. That's so hard. I guarantee he hasn't attempted that catch all year, off season included. Turn this way, turn that way, find it. Still got to catch it.
He found it.
He did find it. He's bummed. It's a good job by Kevin. Just keeping the play alive, trying to make something happen.
And they will go for it here on 4th downs.
Brought a little pressure. Got a chance. Yep. Good coverage.
A nice job by the Fresno State defense.
Good job.
And now Reyna gets to do something he's never gotten to do at the college level. That's getting victory formation.
Gotta love that.
Especially given the way the first 2 games have gone, I think he's going to be the happiest guy out there.
You mean the game ends when I just get to take a knee and we win?
I don't have to throw a game-winning pass down in double overtime.
This is great. It's a good win for them, though. I mean,
to the outside world who sees this score, they'll think ho-hum.
Yeah.
But this was a really good football game.
Honestly, before you really dig in and find the tape and watch these guys, I would have said the same thing. No, they beat Sac State great. That was a tough test. It's not easy. Found the running game, got it going in the second half. Hokie was great. He's gonna get more carries this year
for sure.
After that.
Well, I mean, what a 1-2 combo with Rivers and Hokie. They have such different styles.
Yep. That's fantastic. Good job by Jorge, and he did. I mean, as far as it's his 3rd game, so he's trying to gain some experience, gain some knowledge. He really improved as far as his reads and keeping his eyes down the field. So that coupled with that run game, will be all right.
Well, it wasn't easy, but the Bulldogs get their first win of the season. They're now 1-2. Sac State will fall to 2-2, but their only 2 losses came at Arizona State and at Fresno State. They've got a lot to be proud of, but
no doubt.
Great win tonight for Jeff Tedford and the Bulldogs, because now they get that taste of winning, something they've gotten really used to around here the last 2 years.
We really have.